McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, years after whatever 0 was in your Bible. Welcome to the show. We're going to have a great one today. Fred Warner will be joining us, incredible middle linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers that play in Santa Clara and in Arizona. Also, the guy that Aaron Rodgers says was the best middle linebacker he's ever played against because he had a previous friendship, I believe, with a man has played against him numerous times, which then potentially led to a little bit of a beef with Darius Leonard, which was settled on the field at Lucas Oil Stadium just a couple weeks ago. Can't wait to talk to Fred Warner about his season, about the Niners, about his future, and everything else going on in Fred Warner's life. Also joining us today in the third hour, a man who 1 week ago on this program right here, was named the MVP of the 2020 NFL season. Ladies and gentlemen, your NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
I joined Greeny this morning. His first day at the helm of ESPN Radio at 10 a.m. was today because Dan Le Batard has exited ESPN. Excited to see what he does next, by the way. Was always very thankful for his friendship and hospitality whenever I'd go on his show. I assume he's going to get into the content-making business. Very excited and pumped to see how he does. Love all the people over there. Love their vibe. Pulling for him. But today, Greeny started and at 10 a.m., which is immediately following Get Up, and I was his first guest.
Wow.
That was his first
Let's
guest.
go.
Now, he's been on radio for 50 years at this point. But new time slot, new launch of show, I'm first guest. It was very thankful to Greeny, obviously, for everything he's ever done. For those that don't know, Greeny got me on Get Up because he was a fan of mine. So it was kind of like what happened with College Game Day with Herb Street. Herbie got me on Game Day because he had followed along as a fan of mine. Greeny, same thing. Had me on Get Up because it was his show. After the first time I was on Get Up, by the way, Greeny said, I feel like after following you and knowing you, and he said it in very more sophisticated fashion, he said, you know where the line is and you don't pass it. And I appreciate that or whatever. And then he made the push for me to be on Get Up. Since then, I've got a chance to watch him operate. I have nothing but respect for him. He is in 2 Hall of Fames for a reason. And I can understand, I guess, I've encountered, there are some people that don't love Greeny for whatever reason. If you've ever met him, that would not be the case. He is a G. He had me on show day and he asked about Aaron Rodgers Tuesday and he said, I watch it every single week and I'm fascinated by, he said, basically the look inside of Aaron Rodgers' brain. This year, we've had a chance to chat with the guy every single week through successes and failures and lead to an MVP-like season, potentially Super Bowl season. This has been a hell of a ride. Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays have become my favorite days to wake up. I mean, it is a very big day. We can't thank you.
Come on.
It will be going through playoffs, by the way.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I guess I had a little forethought whenever we were beginning the conversation, which I was just reminded of just a couple days ago. It's like, yeah, we've already settled everything through playoffs. I was like, did we really? Yeah. Fucking right we did. Fucking right we did. So we got Aaron all the way through playoffs. Cannot wait to chat with him going into the bye week. Where's his headspace? Obviously, AJ Hawk will be joining us in that same hour. I assume the conversation is going to be great. I wrote a lot of notes from the game on Sunday. And whenever I pull out this notepad on my phone, the notes section, Aaron knows there's fucking problems coming. You know what I mean? Aaron knows there's problems coming when that note's coming. And I took a couple notes this week. I would like to talk about the Long John. You know, I talked about it last week. I mentioned it in a question to him. He did not address it. Is it the same one? How long has he been wearing that one? What, is it a Lucky Long John that he wears? Because obviously the sleeves are different colors, so that's underneath the sleeves he always wears. And is that the secret potion of being great in the cold? Because he's like the greatest cold weather quarterback in history. Oh, yeah. Diggs, at-tone Diggs, who has beaten COVID, who is an immunicorn. Your thoughts on this entire thing?
Well, I brought it up to Ty like
probably like the first week that it was cold, I was like, I texted Ty, I said, is he wearing long johns? Like old school long johns? That's awesome. Then I looked closer, and like you said, like it looks like this type of material on there, but there's waffle material in there somewhere. And I was amazed by
a little bit of. And by the way, whenever you're a kid growing up in a cold town, when you put them long johns on, it's time. It's time. We're going out there. It's cold as shit if the long johns are coming out. Let's go and get after it. Can't wait to chat with him. Now, at Tongue Dig, something that directly affects you. Some breaking news this morning came out of the lovely town of Cleveland, Ohio. There has been a COVID outbreak in the Cleveland Browns organization. By the way, one happened last week as well. Another one goes. And this one includes an offensive lineman,
Joe Petonio.
Petonio has COVID. By the way, we hope Petonio survives. A wide receiver also got it. And the most notable and most severe one, I think, head coach, play caller, Kevin Stefanski is now on the COVID-19 protocol. Sporting News tweets here, against the Steelers, the Browns will be without their head coach, their offensive line coach, who was out last week, offensive line assistant coach, which was out last week, wide receiver coach, tight end coach, DB coach. Browns also have 6 players on the reserve COVID-19 list and had 2 more players test positive today. This Browns team, which made the playoffs for the dog pound for the first time in 18 years. A team that took the hype that was around a Cleveland Brown team and actually put it to the football field to win themselves 11 games. They won 11 games?
Oh, yeah.
11-5 they won?
Yep.
Unbelievable. Make the playoffs. City of Cleveland, although 2020 has been a tough year, this is something we can get behind. We've been miserable filling up that goddamn stadium, watching terrible football teams in the middle of goddamn winter on Lake Erie, I believe, or Lake Michigan, whichever one's over there. Maybe Superior, maybe Ontario, maybe Huron, but you fucking get it. It's one of the Great Lakes up there, and it's right there. Those fans have been sitting and waiting to get to the playoffs, and they celebrated. And everybody went after them for celebrating making the playoffs because the Steelers team was banged up. They didn't think about the other 10 wins. They went after them for celebrating as hard as they way to just make the playoffs, everybody said. They knew that potentially 3 different strains of COVID-19 were going to run wild through the Browns organization. That could happen. I don't know. That's what's happening right now. Cleveland Browns fans, dog pound. You make the playoffs finally. Once again, you're happy again. Now you're losing. You're losing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I'm happy you celebrated the playoff thing because this is going to be a tall task to win a game whenever your offensive coordinator, who's also your head coach, who potentially changed the entire culture, is out. We had this experience with the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck's rookie year. We go on that, it was like a mythical run almost, I think. Chuck Pagano gets cancer. Bruce Arians is the interim head coach and the offensive coordinator. We end up making the playoffs. Bruce Arians' offense that year, Andrew Luck broke a bunch of records. I forget how they were. And we go to play Baltimore in the playoffs. Morning of the game, Bruce Arians has some medical something happen. I think it was his heart. I don't remember. It was something. Something medical happens. He gets rushed to the hospital morning of the game. We wake up. We don't know until we get to the stadium, basically, or morning breakfast. I forget at which time you ate. Hey, Bruce Arians not coaching today. Somebody else. We lost our play caller day of the game. Now, they have a couple of days to prepare. But when you lose your play caller, especially whenever you guys have been successful and found your identity, that's a massive ordeal. I don't know who's going to be calling plays. I think it's this other person who was
Alex Van Pelt,
who was allegedly going to call plays in the preseason but never got the chance to because of the way the offseason was. I assume Stefanski wanted a chance to do it and just kind of get in the flow there. It's a big deal. A lot is going to fall on old Van Pelt's shoulders there. For us, we were averaging 22.3 points for the entire season. We only scored 9 against Baltimore. Now, Baltimore was an incredible defense, I'd assume, and everything like that, so who knows how we would have done, but it rattles you. It shakes you up. And what I'm saying to the Browns fans is, hell of a year. I'm happy you celebrated getting to the playoffs, but I think it's going to be a very, very tall task to get in there, especially with, we don't know if there's going to be more positives tomorrow. You don't know. Seems like you're going to have a skeleton of a team, and the Steelers will not give a single fuck about that. And this could be a bad weekend for the Browns, but you made the playoffs. Let's build on it for next year.
No, well, first off, T's and P's, I hope the players and coaches are as strong as I was and become a survivor.
Hell yeah.
Of the disease.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Tony.
Because COVID tried to get you.
Tried to get me.
Locked you up in a cave. Little they know is going to make you go 22-4 in gambling because you're locked up just studying lines and hunting winners all goddamn day.
Made me stronger.
COVID made you stronger. You're hoping everybody that gets it survives and becomes a stronger human being on the other side.
Yes.
Okay,
but, I mean,
Good
if
hero.
anything, this This just evens the playing field. Joe Hayden's already out due to COVID. Now Batonio's out. One of their best players is out. We have the worst player caller in the league. They lose their play caller. So that's even. Right.
Yeah, Randy Fichtner, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
he did not deserve a shot there.
No,
Not at all.
definitely not.
He was just kind of hanging out.
Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator. So, he should be able to call plays for the Cleveland Browns, who's basically just zone run right, zone run left to Chubb and Hunt, and then play action with Baker. How's that going to be fucking hard?
Yeah, by the way, football, you just described.
For the Cleveland Browns, yeah.
All right, for basically everybody. Right? I mean, it's pretty much, I guess you left out shotgun there. And, Baker does a lot of naked to his right, which, by the way, was mocked and ridiculed last year. This year, Stefanski's been able to work it in to be successful. It is just, that's hilarious that you take a shot at Randy Fichtner like that because.
Well, it evens the playing field.
Well, I can understand. Stefanski has done an incredible job.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a shame that this is going to happen, but 2020, we said first couple months of 2021 might look a little bit like 2020.
True.
In Cleveland, this is the most 2020 move that could potentially happen, and we're only 5 days into goddamn 2021.
I also just want to shout out USPS for delivering that package I sent to the Browns organization this
Bad
week.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't joke about
Right.
it. Can't joke about it. Can't joke about that, Diggs. Okay?
Good God.
You know why?
Why?
Because although you survived,
Yeah.
there is a percentage of people who haven't.
Oh, yeah.
The denominator.
Well, at Boston Corner, let's move past this conversation.
It's hard not to. We're talking denominators or not?
No.
Okay. All right, fair
There
enough.
is, listen, T's and P's, everybody.
Health as well.
There is drama everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there is literally drama everywhere. Now, the Patriots have their own decisions they're going to have to make in the offseason. Who are they going to hire, who they're not going to hire. They have a lot of draft picks. Are they going to move up, potentially get a quarterback? He said, Bill Belichick was quoted as saying something about we've gone all in or something the last 6 years. Who knows what we'll do this year. I'm excited to see what he does. But around the NFL, there's a lot of drama right now.
Oh, yeah.
COVID in Cleveland obviously going to steal the headlines here because that's supposed to be Sunday Night Football, by the way. There's a potential conversation about, are they going to move the game?
No. Can't
Will
do
they
it.
move a playoff game?
They already said they won't do it.
They said they wouldn't do it. They did it in the regular season. Will they do it for the Sunday Night Football? Maybe I wonder if they'll flip those games potentially. You know what I mean? Give us an Eagles-Washington football team on Sunday night. Please. Give us one of those. No, all games are good, so that'll happen. But you're talking about Shad Khan has complete control of the Jacksonville Jaguars, plans on keeping it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? That's drama. That's its own conversation. That's like if I was a sports head, I'd be like, Jerry Jones has run the Dallas Cowboys with a very hands-on approach, and now Shad Khan is committing to do the same thing, and can you blame him? That's real, okay? That's could you blame him? If I bought an NFL team, just like Jerry, you never see me going at Jerry Jones, by the way.
No way.
Because if I owned a team, it'd be hard for me not to be like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do it that way. I want to do it this way. And then everybody's like, well, you're the problem. It's like, I fucking pay everybody.
Well, you're fired.
Am I the problem? Who's the problem here, pal?
Shad's also known as one of the best talent evaluators in the game.
That's right.
That is something they do say about Shad Khan. They say, if that guy gets to the combine, look out.
Yeah.
He knows it.
He knows what's going
Yes,
on.
he does.
But it'd be hard not to. If you
Yeah.
want to think.
Finger on
but
the
that's
pulse.
drama.
Yeah.
That's drama. John Elway
Oh, jeez.
gets fired from GM job, but in a press release says actually got a promotion to a higher job in the building.
More important job.
No longer general manager, being promoted to another job a little bit higher, okay? He's going to be above the GM, so somebody else can do this stupid GM job. Drama. Chris Collinsworth. Chris Collinsworth is allegedly in shit with the NFL for talking about the tanking happening on the field. I would assume they're not thrilled with the way Al Michaels was going. Come on.
Probably not.
But I'll tell you what, and if I don't think you have a case against Chris and Al, because Al and Chris are just supposed to go ahead and set the environment for a game that is being watched. I don't know what you want them to do. You want them to go out there and completely lie. But I do believe Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels talking about what was happening in the fashion that they were potentially set a tone a little bit for how everybody else viewed it. But they were just calling it how they see it, which you can't blame them for.
Exactly.
And I like Al and Chris. Some people don't. And to each their own. A lot of people feel that every single commentator either hates their team or is mean to their team. So it's not really a win-win. But I like that team.
Oh, yeah.
I think now, granted, we don't like that old Tirico stuck on the sidelines because that team's so goddamn good in the NFL. But I like the way that team goes. And I'll be excited to see what the NFL says to Chris. And what's Chris going to come out? Is he going to have to apologize for it? Is Chris going to have to lead off a game saying, hey, no matter what I see here's a guy in the booth that no matter what I see today, I'm going to lie about. Like, what do you, how does that even, what do you want him to, drama?
If he's apologizing, Doug better apologize.
Well, Doug who?
Peterson.
No, he's not apologizing for nothing. Actually, he's fighting his players. There's drama.
There it is.
There's more drama.
There it is.
Then you got Jason Garrett potentially about to be a head coach in LA.
Come on.
I mean, right now, we're going into the playoff Super Wild Card weekend, 6 games. And it's hard not to talk about all the awesome shit happening outside of the NFL right now. And by awesome, I mean like reality TV type shit.
Yeah.
Connor, in your eyes, what is the most intriguing story outside of Super Wild Card weekend this weekend that you think we should be paying attention to see how it all unfolds?
Well, Pat, you touched on John Elway, and obviously there's other stuff going on in the Broncos building right now. But if I had to pick one thing, it's got to be Fletcher Cox and some of those guys on the defense trying to smack Doug Peterson in the mouth during the game. Yeah. I mean, I believe Jason Kelsey actually went up to him and was like, Doug, hey, what the hell are we doing here? We're down by 3 points. Can we keep Jalen in? And he's like, Hey, Jason, why don't you shut your mouth, all right? I'm the head coach of this team.
Hey, you've already done enough with that little fucking compete speech.
That's right.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay? Since Sudfeld's time, let's get him in the game, see what we got with him. I mean, it's wild. It's awesome that we've made it to the playoffs, but the drama in the NFL, it feels like the NBA almost. You're more interested in it.
Yeah, it does. Feels like the MLB, feels like the NBA. Who's leaking the information? Is my big thing. Who is telling people that the two players had to be held back from fighting Doug Peterson? Who is telling them that Jason Kelsey went up and his actual conversation was, what are we doing? And Doug said, get the fuck out of here, basically. Who's leaking this information? Because if that information is coming from said players that did that, that means said players are trying to get the hell out of Philadelphia, which is a very interesting situation because there's some good ball players that are being talked about there.
Oh, yeah.
But I do believe at this time, we are watching and currently in the middle of the transition of the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl team into the team that's going to follow the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl team. I think that Super Bowl team is potentially just going to go ahead and get, washed out, and they're going to rebuild that thing. And it sounds like Peterson's there to stay. Feels like a lot of these players probably going to get moved, if I had to guess.
Yeah, Peterson being there to stay is awesome because that means, at least one team in the NFC East will be garbage for the next 5 years. But there's one guy. Well, I mean, he's putting in Nate Sudfeld, guys. Come on, Zach.
But that's so he can keep a number 6 overall pick.
Yeah, true. They should just hire Scott Van Pelt or whoever the hell that guy's name is who's play calling for the Browns this weekend. But the one guy.
Adam Van Pelt?
Alex Van Pelt. Sorry about that. The one guy on the sidelines for the Eagles who, he didn't have pads on. He had an earpiece in who might be telling the media about this is, Carl Wentz.
No, Carson.
Look,
Carl
Wentz wants out of town. He's letting everybody know, look, everybody hates Doug Peterson on this sideline. But hey, credit to Doug and Howie for just saying, yeah, that's what we did, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
I think it's, the interesting thing about it is whenever he made the Nate Sudfeld move, I love the Giants' reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Love Joe Judge's reaction. Joe Judge uses it as an opportunity to put himself over, which I love. Just want to let our fans know that we're very pissed off on Sunday night. You would never see that out of a Joe Judge team. No. Such a good promo, Good way to put yourself over with your fans, endear yourself to Giants fans. I love that he took advantage of that situation. But whenever it came to the Philadelphia Eagles, I knew that this would not be a story in 3 days from now because, A, the playoffs are coming around, and now we're going to talk about draft talk, who they're going to get at the number 6 pick, and then the conversation will be like, well, if they didn't have that pick, that 11 where they would have been, this person wouldn't have been available. It was all going to kind of, get talked about, but I think in a more positive light. Like, he was hated for it at the beginning, but remember, this is going on. But now that we got drama coming from the sidelines, because it had to be players that are leaking that information.
Yeah.
It's and I'm not saying it's those players. It could have been other players that were on the team talking about what they saw on the sideline because there's nobody in the goddamn stadium, right? So, I mean, somebody had to be leaking that information, and that's what I always enjoy finding out. Like, who do you think leaked this, and why did they leak it? Okay, so they leaked that information with an objective. What was the objective? Well, we want to let Philadelphia Eagles fans know that the players weren't happy about this either. Could have been the angle. We want to bury Doug Peterson. Could have been the angle. Yeah. And whatever it is, that's what we should try to figure out. Who leaked it and why? And then let's watch it all unfold the next couple months. But the reality TV of it is incredible. At Ty Schmidt, there ain't no reality TV in Green Bay. That team's playing football good. It's happy days, my friend, over there.
It is. And, the last time the Packers got a bye, they did get beat when they went 15-1 against the Giants. So I am a little bit, I can't remember who mentioned it yesterday. D-Bub maybe did about the bye. But like you said, you said it too, I mean, that's not going to affect Rodgers at all. So we'll see how the rest of the team responds. I'm very, very intrigued to see how his attitude is today. I think he is probably going to be feeling good, feeling great going into the bye week. So I'm excited. We got clear skies ahead. I'm okay right now.
Don't get COVID. Look what we're watching unfold here in Cleveland.
Oh, yes.
Okay? Cleveland Browns. First time 18 years make the playoffs. Roll teams out. Yeah. Like whenever Aaron was asked after the game on Sunday, do you have anything to say to your teammates or anything like that? He said, don't get fucking COVID. Mm-hmm. That is really 10-day minimum sentence right now. Mm-hmm. If you get COVID, it's a 10-day sentence the NFL has put on you. You're out. See you later. Don't even think about beating it like Saban in 24 hours. Mm-hmm. That ain't happening. I don't care if this was just a false couple positives here. Yeah, maybe you did get one false positive, two false positives back-to-back days. If you test negative, it doesn't matter. 10 days, you are out if you get COVID. Now, granted, obviously you have to have another false positive or another positive. I get it. But let's just say they get two false. But what if... I mean, you could start the conspiracy fodder right now. Oh. I'm not going to. Patriots are out of the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's conspiracy fodder won't happen. But if the Patriots were in and they're playing a team that tested positive, there would be a lot of like, who's Bill know? Oh, he grew up in the Navy, huh? Who's running the? That's what would be the entire question. But what I'm saying is it's a 10-day sentence right now. If your team gets it, if somebody on your team of importance, which like offensive guard here and play caller, which is a big deal, you're potentially fucked.
Yeah, it's a death wish.
All these weeks, okay, of locking down, getting tested every morning, sitting behind plexiglass at meetings and doing all this season, the miraculous wins, the last second finishes, the oh my God, the out grit, everything you've done to get to the playoffs, which is what that whole season, the whole season is just to get a spot in the dance. You get to the dance, all of a sudden, 1-9 runs through the town, and all of a sudden you're fucking dead. Well, I mean, that is a wild thing to think about.
Especially for a team that's the only team in the playoffs with a negative point differential. I mean, it's tough for it to happen to your team.
Thanks. If you lose to this team,
I know.
Negative point differential. That's battling COVID.
I would much rather them be full strength because if the Steelers lose to them now, it's not going to be good for me.
Well, you said yesterday Mason Rudolph threw for 300 against that team. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a corner. Is he going to be in this?
Denzel Ward?
Is he playing this weekend?
I don't know.
The 10-day sentence, though, is something that could just completely wreck everybody's playoff hopes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's playoff hopes. And you can't keep it out. You get a delivery, it could show up.
Yeah.
It's a roll of the dice, my friends. It's a roll of the dice.
I mean, have they said, too, with like the contact tracing, like let's say it does get into like a receiver room or something like that, and one guy does pop, like do the rest of those guys have to go in the same kind of protocols? Like, are they still,
Is contact tracing 10 days as well?
That's what I don't know. Is 7 days?
So Pelissaro just tweeted, Browns contact tracing continues. 5 positive COVID tests today came before people entered the facility. So anyone designated as high-risk close contacts based on exposure Monday would be eligible to play or coach on Sunday as long as they keep testing negative.
Whew. Hey, 1-9 has complicated the world.
Yeah. Browns are fucked.
False positives.
It does seem like the dog pound's fucked. Today, not only is it Aaron Rodgers, no, we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do a celebration for the dog pound.
Okay, nice.
At some point.
Mm-hmm. A lot of barking.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We'll go to the doghouse real quick.
Ooh.
January is important in setting the tone for the new year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Todd's going sober.
That's right.
Wow, Todd.
That's right.
Good for you, man.
What do you got
What's that,
something to say?
I was going to clap, but then I realized what it was. And I just can't support that.
He's not drinking all January.
Yeah.
He's got no chance.
We'll see.
Oh, okay,
He's got
Foxy.
no shot.
Oh, fucking soft ass Fox.
Yeah, get out of here, dude.
Last night, Foxy sent me a text message.
Oh, is that right?
Reminding me, he said, reminding me
What?
of the Bachelor season premiere last night at 8 p.m. He sent me that at like 6:45.
Yeah, that sounds
favorite
like Foxy.
show.
What do you, I mean, just a nice friendly reminder. And then right when I send the text, lo and behold, FaceTime from Pat McAfee with the most disgusted look on his face of all time.
I told him, don't ever do that.
I'll do that.
Don't ever do what you
And he
just
actually
did.
said, "This is what's wrong with your generation." That's what you said.
Yeah.
Is he wrong?
Not wrong.
Then what I tell you, when you're done watching that shit, you need to do some knuckle push-ups.
Ooh.
Just to get a little bit of fucking grit back.
Yeah, I didn't do any.
He was eating a kale salad, waiting for his chicken to come out of the oven.
Yikes.
Preparing for Bachelor premiere. Foxy. Don't fucking text me with that shit.
That was the wine fox.
You should do it. I blocked him on text and Twitter, so you don't ever get that stuff.
No, I enjoy this is the problem. He's a talented kid.
Oh, yeah.
One Monday night without football, and look what happened to the guy.
No, it's not, believe me, this has been happening. It's been a slow.
Oh, you son of a
Whoa.
bitch.
If it was up to Fox, he'd watch The Bachelor every Monday night. He's not in it for Monday Night Football.
Anyways, I get that people watch The Bachelor, but don't fucking tell me about it.
No thanks.
All right.
Noted.
Number one trend in the United States last night, The Bachelor, by the way.
It crushes.
Yeah, it does really well. Which, by the way, is concerning about what's going on.
It's a problem.
Mitt doesn't watch that show. Mitt's supposed to watch that show. Mitt said, feels like cuck show. Hey, you ain't never been more right, Mitt.
I mean, if it was up to Mitt, he'd be watching fucking Tom and Jerry all day. That's the only thing that I understand.
To find the fucking remote.
Also doesn't have cable. You know, that doesn't help him either.
January is important. By the way, Tom and Jerry was
awesome.
electric.
I know.
There was no reason for you to put Tom and Jerry in there.
Moved right in our wheelhouse at 8 years old.
Let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. 27 minutes into this first hour of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. I don't know why you guys listen or watch, but the fact that you do, we're very thankful. We'll take some phone calls, 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. We'll answer those and do a lot more bullshit on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Sirius XM, Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too.
Hello? So we couldn't go to a break.
Oh.
You see, because we pressed a button, it didn't go. So our YouTube commercial is just running over Sirius. And now the Sirius playback is in our right ear. So it's an echo.
Like a cave.
Got a little bit of a clusterfuck going on here in the technology department. But welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th, 2020. It's a great day here, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you just got to, whenever things like this happen, you can say, are they obstacles or are they opportunities? You know what I mean? You can dig deep into the Instagram self-help life coach accounts and think, what would they say if this potential moment popped up in their face, where technology was battling against them harder than COVID-19 would be doing at this exact moment? And this is what they would say. They would say that any situation could be one that can make you better, grander, and awesome person. They would say, we wrote 5 books, we climbed 6 mountains, we went into cold water, we did everything, and the mind and body were never shook. You will not allow a technology error, a break that didn't happen, to cut you down to size. You stand tall, you enjoy the moment, and you keep fucking talking into a microphone, which is considered the easiest job of all time until the technology is figured out on the other side of the glass.
Hell yeah! Come on!
The echo stopped. I don't know if that's a good.
They just turned off.
I think they killed it.
Nice.
Still
we're back.
there.
Yeah, we're
Still
still
there.
back. Yeah. Thank you, Jay, for bringing that back.
Appreciate it.
Let's get to a phone call, shall we? And you guys let me know in the back if we can go to break, and whenever we can, just let me know. Let's go to Jacob in Cincinnati. Jacob, how's it going, pal?
Good. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year to you and the boys.
Hey, Happy New Year to you. Things aren't bad, okay? I mean, some people could potentially say that we're not in a good situation, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at this situation as if we are a Vaynerchuk,
Hell yeah.
or a Steve Weatherford,
Yes.
or the big guy that has the deep voice and the massive home.
John Cena.
Tony Robbins.
Both of those.
Yeah.
That's who we're going to be. So we're going to look at this in a positive fashion, and we're going to move forward. How are you doing there, pal?
I'm doing swell. Thank you for asking.
No problem, Jacob.
But yeah, so like here in Cincinnati, we got like season's over, kind of bittersweet moment. So we're still celebrating the Bengals beating the Steelers on Muppet Night Football. Sorry about that, Diggs. Hey, you've been hot and hammered down. Love to see that.
Love to see it.
But my question, I really don't think Joe Burrow's going to be ready week 1 with his gruesome knee injury. So question, like any early free agency predictions? I'd like to see Fitzmagic making a return to Cincy.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to happen. Joe Burrow seems to be the guy over there, but maybe Fitzmagic. I don't think that's going to happen. No way. Big free agent moving. I would like to. Well, I guess it's not free agent because the person's still in a contract. Look for Matty Stafford to get traded from the Lions to the Indianapolis Colts. Look for Matty Stafford, a man who has never complained about his situation in Detroit, which we all know is damn near similar to what's going on down there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, god awful.
Never complained.
No, not once.
Not a peep. Now, granted, he's been paid very handsomely. Could buy the entire city he plays for numerous times if he really wanted to, I'd assume. Yeah. But he goes out there and balls. Broken neck, broken back, broken thumb, doesn't matter. All Matty Stafford's going to do is go break records. The guy's unbelievable. So much so that they actually called him Pad Statford on a interesting cartoon thing because his stats are so fucking good and the team isn't that great, which leads to a lot of Detroit Lions fans saying, hey, listen, this guy deserves a lot better. He is a superstar for us, in our team, our organization, for whatever reason, stinks. We get good players, we get good coaches, we get terrible records. And it's because they're cursed. And they're cursed because the football gods dropped dimes and suck it signs on them whenever they decided to fuck over Calvin Johnson on his way out because of how Calvin Johnson was treated in Detroit.
Right.
That's right.
It's really simple as that.
So Matty Stafford's going to go to the Colts. Look for that to happen. Look for a lot of big names with big contracts to get cut this year if their salary cap hit is not a large one, because the salary cap for the first time in a long time is going to plateau. Okay, and for those that don't know topography, a plateau is when something settles off and just kind of flatlines for a little bit. The salary cap had been yodely for a long time because TV revenue was getting bigger, sponsorship was getting bigger, league money was getting bigger. So the salary cap continued to build. But because of 1-9, Mr. 19, and no fans in the stands, no concessions, no beers, no shirts on property, the salary cap is going to plateau. So what that means is you're probably going to see some big names get from the team because they won't want to pay their contracts.
It's a foregone conclusion that J.J. Watt's gone, right? That he's going somewhere else? Or do you think there's any chance that he somehow sticks around?
What was his dead contract?
Let me look it up. I just watched the video.
That's what you got to look at first, by the way. As soon as you look at what the contract thing is, that's the Carson Wentz anything like. I'm pretty not anti-Carson Wentz. Listen, I love Carson Wentz.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Hey, I go to State Fairs. I love those John Deeres.
Yeah.
All right? I like going out there shooting shotgun around a little bit. Hey, I like all that shit.
That's right.
But he seems to be a broken quarterback at the exact moment we're in right now, and he has a lot of money coming with him. You're going to see a lot of teams try to get rid of, I think, people who have a lot of money.
JJ's 17.5 next year. If they keep him, if they cut him, it's 0.
Yeah, okay. So he's probably getting – JJ's probably getting cut.
Probably a Packer, yeah.
You think he's going back to Wisconsin?
Hometown discount.
You think he's ring chasing up there in Green Bay?
I think so. He's made a lot of money in his career. A little hometown discount, be close to the parents. You know, I'm sure he's got a nice spread up there as well.
He's got that log cabin.
I think that's where his cabin's at. It almost makes too much sense.
For him to go to Green Bay.
Yeah.
What about his brothers over there in Pittsburgh, though?
Yeah. Now we're good.
J.J. Watt will be on the move somewhere. Where's he going to go? Now, maybe he doesn't, by the way. Maybe the Houston Texans organization says, why would we move on from a guy that loves this place, loves this city, is synonymous with us? We got Deshaun Watson, we got J.J. Watt, let's build everybody else. But the $0 owed if they cut him and $17 million owed if they don't leads me to believe that there's a good chance J.J. Watt probably coming to an end with the Houston Texans.
I just watched a video where Deshaun Watson and him were walking off the field, and Deshaun apologized to him for wasting a year of his career.
Whoa.
It was sad.
Deshaun had a pretty good year.
Yeah,
Deshaun, I saw stat. He was first or second in everything right behind Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah, he did good.
But he's a good guy, too.
Apologizing to J.J. Watt. Think about that level, you know? Think about that level of like genuine too, huh? Yeah, probably.
Seems like, well, I only did the subtitles during the break.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be genuine, by the way, but that's potentially something you say, like, if you're Deshaun Watson has never been a puppet ever, though, so that's not something that would ever. That is incredible. That's a guy you want, by the way. And I think Michael Lombardi, former general manager for the Cleveland Browns, he said if he was the general manager for the Houston Texans, you'd build around Deshaun Watson. You wouldn't be trying to move on from Deshaun Watson because all you're looking for. Remember Dabo, who was on TikTok?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the drip, dude?
Hickory Dickory Dock.
I can't believe you didn't know who Andrew Dice Clay was, but the Dabo Swinney said he's the Michael Jordan of football. If you don't draft him, you're not drafting Michael Jordan. I think he's really good, but will that team ever go back to prominence, I wonder? Where's JJ going to go? Nobody knows. Can we get to break, you think? Is it possible to go to break?
We're talking to the people at Sirius, but as of now, no, we just have to keep going, I guess.
So we got no chance for a break at all. So what are we going to do for the...
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm just waiting for a phone call.
Oh, Foxy back here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's so wrapped up in who's going to win the fucking Bachelor.
Seriously, he wouldn't shut up about Queen Victoria this morning.
What's up, Jay?
I could try hitting it again. I don't know if it's going to go or not.
Well, that's not how you should do it.
That's not a good game to play, Jay.
I respect that.
Well, yeah. Well, he was just jamming it back here earlier.
Did you unplug it, and plug it back in?
Let's go to Taylor in Montana. Montanimal, what's going on?
Hey, Pat and the boys, what's going on?
Hey, just hanging out. How's Big Sky Country over there?
Hey, Big Sky Country's great. You know, me and my boy Scotty love watching the Packers every Sunday, representing out here.
I like that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Who else? Broncos fans out there?
We got some Broncos, the Seahawks, and, them despicable Vikings fans, but we don't have to talk about that.
Oh, well, the Vikings are in an interesting situation for sure. We have Justin Jefferson joining us Thursday. Friday?
Oh, okay.
Thursday, maybe Friday. Yeah, you're on right now. What do you want to talk about, Taylor?
Well, before I ask my question, I want to say thank you to Aaron Rodgers for the amazing season that he's given the Packers fans, because it has been freaking awesome.
We'll accept that thanks on behalf of Aaron, who's not currently here, and we will relay that message. Taylor, thank you, brother. What do you got, Diggs?
I need to apologize. I read it wrong. JJ apologized to Deshaun Watson. Oh, for wasting one of Deshaun's years.
Wow.
Way to go, Tony.
Well.
I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed.
Why?
Because I got it wrong.
Well, Darren Schefter wrote an entire ESPN article about her, so don't you worry about that. But that goes in line with everything else that everybody's ever said about JJ, right? Like that's what JJ is. That's why you want JJ on your team.
That's why you want that guy.
Keep him around. Build the culture.
JJ?
Yeah.
17 million or zero. Listen, you can put insert name here. Basically, it's they're gonna either restructure or re-extend or something like that, or he's gone. It's one or the other. He's not gonna play out his last year.
They got no first or second round picks for the next 3 years. They don't got to sign anybody going forward.
Bill O'Brien did trade all of those away before getting. By the way, this is 2 times now. If you read into the Philadelphia Eagles players wanting to fight Doug Peterson earlier in the year, the reason why Bill O'Brien got fired is because there was a players' revolt on the practice field.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
J.J. Watt allegedly led that. I wonder how that went. If he ever comes on the show, I will ask him. Did you tell Bill O'Brien he's a fucking stooge? What if he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
I let him know. I smacked him in the mouth, too.
If he ever comes on this show again, I will have to tell him beforehand that I have to ask him about him bullying Bill O'Brien off the team.
He can plead the fifth if he wants, but I mean,
Definitely.
you gotta ask.
But you can plead the fifth, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to ask a follow-up.
Yeah.
But guess what? I've been Oculus boxing.
Ooh.
And you plead the fifth here, guess what? No big deal. In the stomach, you open up, we're coming right back.
Bang.
Head body.
Better plead the sixth, and then the seventh.
And then whenever you get to that eighth, know that there is an uppercut coming through the store.
Bingo!
Let's get to a phone call. Here, let's go to Rob in New Jersey. What's going on, Rob?
What's up, Pat? How you doing?
Not too bad, Rob. We can't get to a commercial break, which is going to be interesting towards the end of the hour on how this whole thing is going to work out. But aside from that, getting a chance to talk to a guy named Bob from New Jersey, I couldn't have a better Tuesday, pal.
Appreciate it. Hey, it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Can't really get much better than that, huh?
Bingo! What do you want to talk about, pal?
I had a punting question for you.
Okay. This is going to tank.
Well, first I want to say hello to all the boys. So then I forgot you guys, but hello. What's up, everybody?
What's up, dude?
Hey!
So I've noticed that punting is the stats that you see, stat lines you see for punters are mostly average, long, and like inside the 20. Yet when you're actually punting, you're punting from a different spot on the field. So like when you're punting from the end zone, you want to like go for distance. Yet when you're punting from like around midfield, inside the 20 is more feasible. So like you being an ex-punter, how do you evaluate that where it's kind of situational,
Well, situations are situational. And Rob, very astute observation out of you. High football IQ, I'd assume you win the fantasy leagues with your friends, with your big brain there. Yeah, punting stats are all stupid, okay? I've come up with the solution. I've pitched it to multiple fantasy football people. Hopefully FanDuel maybe adopt it for next season. Ooh. The way it should go is you have to watch film, basically, to tell who's good and who's not good. Those numbers can deceive you because if you're on a team who has a terrible offense, okay, terrible offense, and a bad defense, you're probably not getting many first downs, and the other team's probably moving the ball on you. So you're probably working with a large field. And when you have a large field, you can obviously punt the ball much, much further. Now, when you're judging that, you should be judging net punt as opposed to the distance of the punt, because net punt is what your team is actually gaining in net yardage in a game of territory during this calculated turnover that you just decided to do. Okay, so that's a stat that matters whenever you're talking about the long punts. But whenever you're talking about short field punts, pooch punts, those should be viewed as like a free throw percentage, like a shooting percentage. Okay, so anything from like your own 48 and in is normally where everybody's pooching from, 47 and in, depending on how strong they're like, or maybe even just make it 50 and in. That should be a percentage of inside to 20, or maybe even make it inside to 15, by the way, because inside to 20 to 15 is quite a miss. Everybody's aiming for about the 10. So it should be like inside to 15. That should be a percentage, and then your percentage should go off of that. And that's how you should really judge the entire thing. Return yards is something you should also look for, because if they give up a lot of return yards, that might mean that their teams stink, but it also might mean that they're hitting low line drivers, which everybody can do in the NFL. It's just whether or not you want to be tactical. And I think that is why it's so hard to judge punters, and why you need the commentators to understand what's going on, because they're supposed to be educating everybody on how good a punter is or how bad a punter is. But maybe a low average is because the team's defense is very good, but the offense stinks. So if the offense stinks, probably not going to move the ball well. But if your defense is great, they can probably pin them back, and then it just becomes a pooch game. And then you got short yardage, but your percentage should be higher in the pooch punting thing. So I appreciate the question, Rob. Very astute, high football IQ question. There's a lot of stooges out there that would never know that probably have Hall of Fame votes, by the way. So I appreciate that a lot.
I got a lower IQ question. I used to notice that obviously the punt returner would just put their feet on the 10, go over the head, let it go. Now there's a lot more fair catches like inside the 5. Is there a reason for that?
So inside the 5, I don't think that's accurate. But inside 10 to the 5, though, has become a much more fair caught area, but also depends on where they're punting from. Okay, so the returner, I used to, by the way, be the guy that set the returner on where he should be standing and everything like that. It was a nice little relationship I had with the returners, you know what I mean? Like, hey, here you go. While they would jog out there, hey, they're punting from the 38 right now going in, so their gunners are going to get there quick. Probably fair catch to the 5 there, because their gunners are probably going to be down there because it's a shorter yardage, right? So there's so many things that play into everything. Do they have an incredible gunner like Slater? Do they have Slater who's going to get there probably regardless? Maybe have a little bit more room for a fair catch, because pinning inside the 5 is It sucks for the off. I mean, it is basically, if you look at the percentage, not going to score on this particular drive. Basically, just go ahead and mail it in until you can gain some more yards to punt it back. So there's just a little bit of difference. But also, you could see some returners who potentially get bored and want to get their hands on the ball and make bad decisions too. Always going to have that. And as a punter, you love it. Hey, you hit one a little bit too long on a pooch, and you see that guy go back there try to field it on like the 2. You're like, my fucking man. Because that ball was going in the end zone, and now it's probably inside the 20, which is another little stat. How you doing? Keep it moving. Great question, Rob. Great question. They're voting long snappers into the Pro Bowl for the first time in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way the voters have any idea who's a good long snapper. Okay, so this is just going to become, I like it. I like that we're voting for long snappers into the Pro Bowl and into the All-Pro teams. They deserve it. It's a craft. It is very hard to do. But the only way you could judge that is if you watch every fucking snap from every single person. Oh, that's really nice. Because we can go to a break. I was just told. Good work back there. Good work back there. Man. But you would have to watch every single snap to see the percentage of laces forward on field goals and extra points. Okay, so let's watch that. Then you would have to get a stopwatch on the snap for the punt times, okay, from snap to punter on the snap, and then their protection and then their tackling. So you're asking these people who didn't even know long snapping was maybe a specialty thing until maybe this year when they were told that they have to vote on it. Now, the only way you can accurately vote on that is if you go watch, I don't know, maybe 7,000 pieces of film on just the long snapping position. So I'm happy that they're getting the vote, but I think long snappers are going to have to start coming out with their own videos, basically saying, hey, here's my laces percentage, here's this, so that the people know who's good and who isn't good. Because I'm going to be honest, I was asked last night by somebody who had an all-pro vote. They said, hey, who's the best long snapper in the league? I said, I have no fucking idea. I couldn't even tell you. You'd have to watch that whole film. So I just said Luke Rhodes because he's at the Colts.
Oh, there you go.
I said, Luke Rhodes, he's good. But I don't know. I have no, he might not be. I could just fuck somebody up.
Patriots got the #1 special teams. Might as well just put all those specialists into
Joe
the
up there. I fucking love Joe up there. He's a vet too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Navy, I believe.
Navy, yeah. Cardona?
Yeah.
He's stud. He is very good.
Yeah, he's beast.
But is he the best? Have we watched film on everybody?
I mean, from what I've seen, I don't see anyone doing it better than Cardona.
Exactly.
So, by the way, in the Pro Bowl.
You sound exactly like the All-Pro voters and everything like that. We're going to get to a break here. I believe we'll be able to get back on the other side, right? Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, so hour 1 here on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. We're going to attempt to send it to a break, pay the bills for some people, and then we'll be back on the other side to wrap up hour 1. Hour 2, we got Fred Warner. Hour 3, we got Aaron Rodgers and AJ Hawk. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Sirius XM, Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. A perennial Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, a man who's aging like fine wines, Green Bay Packers legend, Super Bowl champion, from Butte, California, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers!
Please tell me that that's going to be a one-time thing.
What is the longest you've ever thrown?
Yeah, somewhere between 68 and 70, Pat. I don't know, right in that sweet spot.
69 yards is how far you threw it. Nice, congrats.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Of course you have, by the way. Of course you have.
With
That doesn't get you going for a game? Are you kidding me?
No, but I have a funny Creed story. So, in 2007, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night. We're 10-1. I have long hair. I'm a backup. And before the game, we walked down the field, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but our intro song was Creed with Arms Wide Open. I looked to my buddy Nate Weir, who AJ knows Nate really well, and we both said this is going to be a good night. And that was the night I came in off the bench and played pretty well and kind of changed the narrative about me from, possible draft bust to, hey, this guy might be able to play, maybe.
Thank you, Creed.
Yeah! My kids say, if they see him on TV, there's Uncle Aaron, look at that. Oh, Dad, is that Uncle Aaron's dog? I'm like, nah, it's a prop dog. They're like, well, what happens to that? I was like, I think he hasn't killed after that.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Like, oh, no,
AJ.
no.
I noticed this past Sunday, you were smiling, shaking hands, giving a lot of high fives to the boys on the side. What have you seen in this old footage that has rejuvenated your love? Or is it something else about this 2020 season that seems to have you just in a better headspace?
Why am I having so much fun?
Bingo.
I have just a new and increased love of life. And I've made decisions and changes and habits that put me in a lot better headspace. And there's just a lot of things that have come together in my life over the last few months that have really been enjoyable and reminded me, given me perspective on life and in football to view things through the most positive lens I possibly can. And that's why I'm having so much fun. And it starts with love. And then surround yourself with people that you really enjoy. This show is, to get sentimental, this show is just another step in that, because I love Age so much. And Pat, I have so much respect for you and the boys. Like, this was such a fun opportunity. And now I look forward to this every Tuesday.
Patriots, -11. Hammer that thing as hard as you possibly can. I am a guy that moves lines with this bad boy. Me and this guy here, this hammer, we've been making money together for a long time. Super baby. Over. You whip out your hammer and you swing it not only like a windmill dunk, like a son of a bitch, but you swing that thing to try to break the button on the FanDuel thing, and you hammer the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it finally made its debut on ESPN, and I'm proud of this fucking office store hammer.
Hell yeah.
I like them all over Baylor. Go and hammer OT State #1. Hammer the Red Wolves +5.5, -14.5, and hammer -34.5 for. Oh! I didn't think I could continue to be an FCC-regulated person without really hitting my max potential.
And that's why he's with us. I love it. The Pat McAfee Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
January is important in setting a tone for a new year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Ty isn't drinking for the entire month of January.
What? Not doing it.
I'm not doing it either. And in 2021, that has never been more true. Huh? Don't you think?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Luckily, our old friends at CBDMD are here to give you the support you need to conquer your New Year's resolutions and make this year your best one yet. Why not?
Why not?
If those resolutions happen to involve fitness, they've got a brand new topical product that'll help you keep moving all year long.
Hell yeah.
CBD Relieve with lidocaine fuses CBDMD's hybrid broad spectrum formula with fast-acting lidocaine to help provide temporary relief for minor aches and pains.
Love that.
And with the new bag-on value spray technology, Relieve can be applied comfortably at any angle, even upside down.
Whoa!
To make it even easier to get you started and get this year off on a right foot, they're offering all listeners and watchers of this show 25% off your next order when you use promo code McAfee at checkout. Go to cbdmd.com and use promo code McAfee for 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products.
Hell yeah.
I use their CBD PM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They have drops that put you to bed, basically. It's
the best.
They just put you out like a light.
Like a light.
Like a light. The Relief stuff, I'm going to need to get it because the Oculus boxing, I've been going. Got a minute and a half, okay, before hour one wraps up here on this incredible Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th, 2020. Let's take one more phone call here. Let's go to Chad in California. Chad, what's going on?
What's up, boys? Happy MVP Tuesday.
Hey, Chad, thank you, brother. How are you doing?
Doing good. I want to shout out Diggs. I, too, channel my inner Gloria Gaynor and survived COVID, so let's go.
Hey, congratulations. It sounds like there's a truck backing up about to hit you right now. Please stay safe over there. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I just want to talk about my Broncos. You know, my childhood idol, Elway, fired himself and promoted himself. You got to love that. Looking for the new GM. Want to make sure I get a guy that has a good relationship with Stafford. and a horrible relationship with Carson Wentz because we don't want him anywhere near our fucking team?
Hey, he would love Denver. Shout out to Chad being a Broncos fan over there in California. He would like Denver, huh? The hunting over there?
Yeah.
Maybe get Carson over at Broncos. Does that mean the Broncos fans are out on Drew Lock, by the way? Is that what that means? Seems like they're going into week 17. Nobody knew if he was going to be the guy or not. John Gruden helps him get a dub, you know what I mean? With going for 2, John Gruden does John Gruden things. But the Broncos, once again, big question marks on what the hell is going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen over there. Or is Peyton Manning going to be the next John Elway type
wow.
That'd be dope.
Lucky.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Don't take Matty Stafford, though, to Denver. We need him here in Indianapolis. How about it's pretty much assumed that he's not going to be in Detroit. If he goes to New Orleans, he will break every record on earth.
Or New England.
Hour 1 wrapping. They threw 5 touchdowns. Hour 1 wrapping up here on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th. We'll be back on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Fred Warner will join us. Woo. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
There's a grown man with face paint on. So you're Big Nut.
I am, and you're Little Nut.
Well, I've had a few of those in my life. Hey, I'll tell you what, Big Nut. I hope to find you one day on my wedding night. Big Nut!
Little Nut!
You did a great job, too. The lines are straight. No DUI problem there. You're really doing a great job here, sir. Hey, Big Nut, I love everything you're about, bud.
Because we are going to win the game.
He just spit in my mouth while saying that.
The most likely team to make the college football playoff is the team that is in Columbus.
He said khakis are way too close to that team from up north. If you don't put black pants on right now, you're going to get booed out of Columbus. Yeah. So I went with the black. Makes me look thin. And whenever I say 2 letters, the place goes crazy. OH! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie George. That offense, though, led by Justin Fields. He has 41 touchdowns accounted for, only 1 turnover. I don't know how he isn't the Heisman favorite right now.
Well, he certainly has a chance to make a stick at that today, certainly next week.
He's supposed to be at Penn State, and Mike McQueary told me I wasn't Penn State material.
Okay, Herbie was your quarterback. He was a senior. You were a freshman. What was he like as a teammate?
Oh, he was great, man. Big shoulder pads. Kurt could run for days back in the day.
Every single bone in my body. Stipe, how you doing, boss man? They're down 6-1. She wants to flex on the gram. He says, lady, we are getting slaughtered by the Pittsburgh Penguins. No.
Do I do it too? I thought I need to do this.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. We'll begin immediately following this Twine beat drop. Fred Warner of the San Francisco 49ers will be joining us in about 22 minutes. Cannot wait to chat with him about the year that was for the Niners, the future, and everything going on in his life. As we start hour 2, we have some news that is happening in the NFL world. Obviously, COVID's running rampant through the Cleveland Browns dog pound organization. T's and P's, we hope everybody survives. But boy, it feels like a good time to bet the Steelers. That number is probably only going to continue to go up and up as more names get released on who positives, and you get it. Who's going to be out? Play caller Kevin Stefanski's out. Pitano, offensive lineman for them, is out. Longest tenured Brown. Actually got a game ball after last week's game from Kevin Stefanski for him being the longest tenured Brown and making the playoffs finally. Some people are saying, was it the ball that Stefanski and Pitano shared that was potentially infected with COVID? The NFL will do an investigation to find out who sent that ball into that locker room. But not only him, there's a couple others as well. This seems like a tough break for the Cleveland Browns, who have been living in a magical time this season with their team playing better football than ever before. But Joe Brady, offense coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, previously of LSU, is now being interviewed for a head coaching job with the Houston Texans, and Deshaun Watson, who we just were reminded by Tone Diggs in the last hour, J.J. Watt apologized to for wasting a year of his career, basically, because that's how good Deshaun Watson is, and everybody knows it. Joe Brady, the young offensive guru, who is potentially going to be a head coach at the age of, 31?
He just turned 31 in September.
And how many years has he been coaching at this point?
He was the linebackers coach at William Mary for 1 year. He was the graduate assistant at Penn State for 1 year. He was the offensive assistant at New Orleans for 1 year. LSU last year as a passing game coordinator, and then offensive coordinator this year for the Panthers. 5
years in coaching. This dude now potentially going to be the head coach of the Houston Texans. Good for Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Meteoric.
What a rocket ship. Wow.
What a rocket ship. Now, a lot of the olds who aren't getting jobs at the moment are probably going to say, what does that guy know? He's only been coached 5 years. That guy doesn't even know how to put together a schedule. That guy has no idea what's coming down his pipe hole, basically, if he become a head coach. And maybe that's the case. But these young guys getting jobs, I'm pumped about.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a new age? Now, granted, it has not worked everywhere. Yesterday, we started a potential rally in Cincinnati about the Bengals organization. And I want to let you know, I'm pretty proud of our work in Cincinnati. The Who Day? Yeah, Who Day.
Yep.
The Who Days over there, the Cincinnati Bengals fan base, they deserve better out of their NFL franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Their NFL fan experience has been one that the NFL shouldn't want to happen if you're a fan of an NFL team. The NFL only has 32 teams protect the shield. If the Bengals are one of them, are you really giving back to the city of Cincinnati at all that the NFL is in with the way that team has been run? No, that's all we said. A lot of people in Cincinnati agreed with us. There's some potential rumblings happening on the internet about people, kind of taking a little bit more boisterous approach in what's going on with it. And then we got attacked for being lazy too. So we should probably do a little bit more research on the entire Bengals organization before we act like they're just tanking every single year.
Well, we can just ask Carlos Dunlap how he feels about what the Bengals are doing over there in that locker room.
And Carson's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of other potential situations that happen, but there's also a lot of Bengals players who love their time in Cincinnati. So I have to ask them too about their entire experience. If they think they're on an organization that they ever once thought we could actually win a Super Bowl at, that is all I want to know. Because if your team can't do that, do your fans deserve it? No. Should there be moves? Maybe, but let's go ahead and address it. If we're going to address, by the way, Doug Peterson's decision on Sunday Night Football, it's just it's a very interesting time to be alive, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple fucking greedy corporate fat cats running the team. You think they give a shit what the team does as long as the balance sheet comes back in and they're in the green every year. They don't give a damn how the team does. It's sickening.
Yeah, that's their thing. The P&Ls just need to stay along the P's, not a lot of L's, and they're like, we're cool with this.
Exactly.
Gross. That's big business conversation right there.
It is, and it's bullshit.
Profits and losses. Okay, you need the P's bigger than the L's. That's all we're looking at here.
In the shield.
The green area needs to be larger than the red area. And if it is, guess what? We're winning.
Boom.
That's not how your football team should be acting.
No.
Everyday life, you should be acting like that.
Absolutely.
That would be smart, and that's responsible. But you don't want your NFL team acting like that. That's why, growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, I chose to be a Yankees fan for the baseball. Never played baseball, but would watch it late night if it was on. I was because that owner, Mr. Steinbrenner,
the boss.
That guy would spend all the money.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you guys don't put any limits on me spending money here to win? Okay, that's on you then. I want to win more than everybody else. And they did.
Yeah.
Bengals won't even build a fucking indoor practice facility.
Nope.
It's a joke.
I'm not getting caught up on this again. They're not taking over 2 shows.
No.
More like 10 shows at this point with how mad I am about it.
I mean, at least the Pirates owners, you get it. You got to worry about blowing snow up at Seven Springs. What are the Bengals owners got to pay for?
Nothing. They're just in the team. By the way, Seven Springs is a ski resort in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
It is most known for people going up there and blacking out while stumbling down hills with a lot of snow on it.
And the Pirates owner owns it.
Yeah, that's where the Pirates owner's money comes from. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's where it comes from. It probably loses money there. They got good tubes, inner tubes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, you go up there and inner tube down that goddamn.
Foggy goggle, get a couple brews on the launch.
This place sounds awesome.
Hey, it's the après tube that you're looking forward to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The après ski is what you're looking forward to.
Hell, the Bengals should move their whole entire facility to Seven Springs. I mean, this place might turn it around.
Well, they're very kindred spirits the way those two businesses are fucking run.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You combine them, you might find something.
They wouldn't even know about an après ski if they had to.
No.
They would not spend the money on that type of thing. But you should want your team to want to win. Like I think that's and I feel like that's the angle that Joe Judge was taking whenever he addressed the Philadelphia Eagles situation. Joe Judge, by the way, I think he cut a perfect promo. People are saying, "Why are you calling that a promo?" Because that was a promo. That's all. Yeah. That was it. He just cut a promo about what a Joe Judge football team will look like to the Giants fans. This is what our team is going to look like. I love that he did that. But whatever you think about the Eagles fans, now it's coming out. Miles Sanders said on an interview, "Look, none of us was happy." He said, "None of us was happy." All right. Players are mad. Players are fighting coaches. You can't have that. In your team, it doesn't sound like Cincinnati has any chemistry issues at all, by the way. You very rarely hear about that type of stuff. But you would want your team to want to win, like I think. And that's, that needs to happen everywhere. We need everybody to want to win. And I think the NFL should be at that point.
The Browns should just think about calling up Joe Judge and signing him to a 10-day contract. Say, hey, Joe, you want to coach football? We need you this weekend or else we're going to get the doors blown off.
What about bringing Freddie Kitchens back for a week?
All right.
Bring them both in.
The Browns fans have been through enough. Okay, I'm not talking about Joe Judge, but Freddie Kitchens era. Although Freddie Kitchens is probably a great guy, I would love to have a beer with him. I saw him on Straight Up Steve Austin last year.
Really?
With Baker Mayfield on there. He came out, they played catch. Okay? I think Freddie Kitchens is probably a guy you'd love to have a beer with. But the Browns fans, the last thing they are looking for is Freddie Kitchens to drop back into their life after what happened, and now that they're a good team. It's a shame, though, that COVID-19 – and what do we have an updated number on the Cleveland Browns organization? What was it? 6 people? 6 people tested positive?
Players, I think.
6 players, 2 coaches?
More than that, 'cause, right? It was the wide receivers coach, the O-line coach, the offensive assistants.
Were they all out still from last week, or are they out because of this new one, right? Because the offensive line coach last week and the assistant offensive line coach was out. Wide receiver coach was out last week, right? I don't know if these are new positives. There's new positives rolling through Cleveland, though, right now.
And speaking of 6, that's what the line is now up to. From opened at 3.5.
And we tried. I tweeted out at 4.5. Everybody, listen, get on the Steelers now because this number is going to climb, and it's only going to go. It's going to continue to go. By the way, the more, because if we've learned anything about this, 1 day of positives normally means at least 2.
Oh, yeah.
At least 2 to 3. So who else is going to get? If Stefanski, he's around everybody, right? Head coach literally is around everybody. Who knows who the contact tracing is going to catch up with? I mean, there is – Cleveland Browns organization does not deserve it. There's other games, though, which we should definitely talk about. Let's put our playoff picture up there. This weekend's game, Super Wild Card Weekend, 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. I cannot wait for this. I honestly cannot wait. Saturday, 1:05, Buffalo Bills host the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of people think Josh Allen's playing MVP-like football. And if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen probably wins the MVP this year. Congrats to him on having a hell of a third year in the NFL.
Boy, Josh.
He actually got a guy hired for a head coaching gig in Dabble, who's the offensive coordinator, because nobody thought that Josh Allen would become this player that he is right now after watching the first year. There can be people that say they thought he was going to become this player, and they would be lying to your face. Unless it's Josh Allen's family or very close friends, nobody watched him in his first year and said this guy is going to be an MVP-like player in 2 years. It has come out of nowhere. Josh Allen is a superstar. Stephon Diggs getting dropped into that roster after leaving Minnesota in kind of a rocky way, and Bean going out there and pulling the trigger and getting him in there. He has been a key to success for Josh Allen's deep ball, which everybody knew could potentially be possible because how far he could throw it. That team with Sean McDermott at the helm with the defense and special teams, who hit the perfect punt last week, by the way. Corey Bojorquez hit the perfect punt out there. That team is the team that everybody says is going to be able to stop the Chiefs, can keep up with the Chiefs, offensive and defensively. But that Indianapolis Colts team, hey, with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, and with T.Y., whose dreads right now might be the longest in the league, he's got great length on his dreads right now. I noticed that last week because they were everywhere. In an opportunistic defense, they could win that game. Hey, they could stop the Buffalo Bills in the Bills Mafia incredible run. 8,000 people at the airport waiting on them. Hey, the AFC East is ours. Let's go. This is going to be our team. Let's run with it. This team has been patient. This team has been built. The Indianapolis Colts, though, Saturday, 1:05. That could be a real game, and that just starts Super Wild Card Weekend. I'm pretty pumped up about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's also nice, at least for me, where you don't really have to worry about it. You can kind of just enjoy the football on both sides this weekend. Don't get to do that very often. But Connor and I were talking before the show. I mean, everyone's very high on the Bills right now. I kind of like the Colts to maybe go into Orchard Park and win.
And you only like the Colts because of how high everybody is on the Bills.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, partially. But also, I mean, Jonathan Taylor looked great last weekend. If we got a little bit of the elements, maybe he gets 45 carries. Who knows?
They should feed him the rock.
What's up, say? Bills are 26th against the run in the league. So I think that's the whole game right there. If they could keep the ball away from Josh Allen in that offense with Jonathan Taylor, and maybe you got a ball game.
What's the spread right now for that game?
6.5.
It was 7 yesterday. It moves to 6.5 today. That feels like a lot of points for a playoff game. But Phillip Rivers, although he had beat the Colts before in the playoffs when Mike Cyphers buried the Colts deep into their own territory in the 2008 season. And I only know that because I got hired the next year because of the punt game winning that thing. Phil Rivers in the playoffs has not been lights out. Is that him? Is that his team? Is that the situation? We'll find out this weekend, I guess. He's got a chance to turn it all around because with that defense, with that offensive line, the Colts have a chance to go on a fucking run.
Yep.
As long as Uncle Frank doesn't get pass happy, we got a shot.
Gumpy, you're 100% right, though. You're 100% right with Frank Reich. I love Frank Reich. Probably a really good guy. He was always good to me. I don't get to hang out with him away from football. Always a really nice guy. But there's been a couple second half collapses here as of late that we cannot be having, especially when you got a guy, Jonathan Taylor, in the back. Give him the rock. Feed him the rock. Now, granted, I don't watch 30 hours of film a week, okay? Which is always interesting whenever you start questioning people's game plans and why they're doing things. You always have to remember, they watched 30 hours of film. There's a reason they're doing what they're doing. I'm just going to tell you from an outsider who did not do any of that, okay? But I do watch every single quarter that you guys have played on television. Second half, we got a guy in Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Go ahead and feed him. Now, is he the next Derrick Henry? We don't know. We have no idea.
Might be.
Derrick Henry is unbelievable. 2,000-yard rusher. Okay, you do your thing. And whenever they're in the second half and they're in the lead, they're just going to feed that guy and score. We got that guy, Jonathan Taylor. Let's go ahead and just feed that guy.
Hey, if you're up between 10 and 17 points in the second half, run the damn ball. How about that?
How about it, dude?
How about it?
How about it, dude?
Eberflus versus Dabble. I mean, both of those guys seem to be at the top of everyone's, next head coaching tree. It's going to be a battle.
Colts defense is very athletic and very opportunistic. They will make a play. They will make a turnover. They will do something like that. But then on the flip side, there's a chance whenever you live like that you also get got. You got to get yours more than you get got, though. And I think that's what they're hoping for.
There's some news that the Jacksonville Jaguars are not the only team in the Urban Meyer hunt. The Chargers are now also interested in Urban Meyer.
The Los Angeles Chargers, one day after being announced that they will be interviewing Jason Garrett for the head coaching gig, which, by the way, that tie is because the Spanos family is very tight with Jimmy Johnson and
Norv Turner.
Norv Turner, who both have ties to Jason Garrett, obviously, through the Cowboys. So that is potentially an interview that's happening that way. I guess the Chargers, in an interesting turn of events in the last 24 hours, the Spanos family runs that whole thing. So Tom Telesco, the general manager, the man who's responsible for getting me into the NFL with the Indianapolis Colts as the assistant general manager, basically here under Bill Polian, who then takes over the job with the Chargers, he is working. He's not just making his own decisions there. I guess he's working for the Spanos family. Head coach also working for the Spanos family. Some places, like for instance, if Urban Meyer was to get the head coaching gig down in Jacksonville before a GM was named, the general manager would be working for the head coach, like John Gruden and Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock is working for John Gruden. The owner just lets John Gruden kind of do his thing. He's hands off with the entire operation. It's all a very interesting turn of events whenever you see who's getting the keys to the car and where are they driving, how's the road look, and if they inevitably make it to where they're going, do they get broken off or do they ultimately fail and somebody else get blamed for the way the car drove? That makes sense if you think back to it. What I just said.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty proud. I was pretty proud of where that car was going there. You know what I mean? Because that statement was also a vehicle on the road that we did not know where it was going. And it ended up landing like a glove right in the fucking parking spot. It's real, though, because whenever you see somebody else get fired, or you saw coaches like Atlanta, Quinn, he fired every other coach but himself.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, is that going to change? And were they working for him anyway? Like, what was going on? Or did the GM hire the coaches? Because then there's some times where the coach works for the GM, basically, and it's always kind of fascinating to see the behind-the-scenes work there.
Jacksonville only needs a coach, right? Because Shad Khan is going to be the GM this year, so does it really even matter who they hire as general manager?
Shad Khan of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we have learned in the last 24 hours, has his hands on every single decision that's made with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is basically what the headlines alluded to. Did we read further into that? Absolutely not.
Oh, no.
So that is potentially wrong. But it feels like Shad is a Jerry Jones-like owner, which, by the way, if you owned a goddamn team, how could you not be? I don't know how you could not be, but there's not a lot of owners that do that. A lot of people are kind of hands off. I'm a fan just like everybody else. I just so happen to have the suite here. I also get to do interviews, and I have an office at the motherfucking facility.
Hell yeah.
So there's some owners that are like that, and then there's some owners that are all the way in. I feel like teams with their owners that are like in but not all the way in are the most successful. Kraft, by the way, is in, but he's not all the way in. I'll give you whatever you need to make happen. Let's talk about it. He was trying to be the peacekeeper, I guess, between Tom and Bill a couple times. Like, I feel like that's a good way. Irsay, by the way, he was a guy that I guess there was years where he was around at practice every single day. I was not there for that, but it felt like he always had a pulse on what was going on. You know what I mean? Like there was always some, I guess there's some owners that are just like, fuck it. Like,
hands off.
Good luck.
I'll see you guys Sunday. And then when team stinks. The
Bengals.
There's some, exactly. There's some teams that are like that.
Forwards probably, I'm sure.
It'd be hard not to be like Shad, though. The more and more I think about
especially, imagine having that mustache and not having all the confidence in the world to be like, yeah, I'm the best GM in the league, as well as owner.
He just fucking walks right in. What is this sport? I own a soccer team over on the other side of the earth there. Oh, I know it. All right. This is what I want. Just starts drawing up plays.
Yeah.
Well, how could you not, though? It's fantasy football. If you're an owner of a team, you're just running a football organization.
He got Joe Schobert last year, who says he isn't a great talent evaluator.
True. Joe Schobert knows what the fuck.
Yeah, friend of the show.
He is friend
That
of the
was
show.
an issue in Cleveland for a while, too, with Jimmy Haslam. He used to be a minority owner of the Steelers, buys the Browns, goes over, and allegedly he was the one who listened to the homeless man to draft Johnny Manziel.
He listened to a homeless man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Johnny Football had
No,
so much promise.
excuse me. I agree. But what happened with the homeless man?
I think he was promoted to player personnel director eventually.
Who are you talking about?
No, the story goes he did hear from a homeless man that said he should draft Johnny Manziel, and said, yep, we're doing it.
So like Kevin Costner type thing?
Kind of, yeah.
See? If you're the owner of a team, though, how could you not?
Yeah.
If you saw that homeless man as a sign from the universe, whenever you were conflicted on a decision, if that's the way you operate business, by the way, I think if you look in, he's having success right now as the owner for the Browns. I shouldn't say that. A couple of his businesses have done interesting things, but interesting things. But if he's been able to go hands off, by the way, after realizing that him being in there is not great, good for him. Way to do it. I think if you're an owner for a team, though, it's going to be hard to just kind of sit back and let somebody else make all those decisions. But I guess a lot of those billionaires do that. It's called delegating is the way billionaires call putting off jobs, basically.
Don't they typically then find out, like, oh, I didn't make my money in this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not very good at this. We stink. Like, that's always, like, the cyclical, like, that's the end of the circle, right?
Or by the way, they don't, and they just keep on going. A lot of people have said, the people that hate Jerry Jones are very loud. The people that hate Jerry Jones being hands-on, I got a tweet from somebody that said, Dallas Cowboys haven't been good since Jimmy Johnson's guys.
Ooh.
They said Jerry Jones hasn't been able to do anything. I'm like, every draft, they say the Cowboys have a great draft. The roster is always stacked with big names. Is that Jerry Jones just propping up people that aren't that good then? Is that what's happening? Or is Jerry Jones drafting good? It's just the culture, for whatever reason, can't win. Is that Jerry Jones' fault? I don't know. It's hard for me just to automatically blame Jerry Jones for being hands-on with everything when I don't get a chance to see him be hands-on with everything, because he does some press conferences. Who cares? Who cares if your owner does any press conferences? Jake, probably turn his music on, by the way. Who cares if you do any press conferences? If you're running the draft and you stink, like, you got to have a little self-awareness and kind of drop out of that. But if you're doing a pretty good job drafting, why does he get blamed for it?
Yeah, which he has been. Every draft has been, like, CeeDee Lamb's been incredible this year. At some point, you got to look at the head coach and say, okay, maybe it's the guy he's hiring to put on the head ball cap.
So maybe he's a bad coach hirer.
Yes.
But do we think these guys are good because Jerry pays them after he drafts them and Jerry thinks they're good and that's why he pays them?
Or is it just because the media has hyped these people up to be good?
Got to build a team, Pat. Not a collection of football cards, you know?
Hey.
That's right.
That's very real.
That's right.
Seems like every draft that is just like, let's get the biggest, fastest, strongest, bring them all in here, and then somebody will figure it out. Never works. Got to have those, glue guys in that locker room.
That's right.
Got to have a good feel for the team, what they want, what they don't like, and know that not every team's the same team. You can't treat every team the same exact way. Sometimes there's going to be different little things you have to do.
And you get duped by a coach who has no idea what he's doing in this day and age. And
well, that's because he set up a set for Tom Pelissero, who will be joining us tomorrow. Hour 2 here. Fred Warner joins us on the other side. We're going to attempt to get to a break. This is the Pat McAfee Show on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. I'd also potentially taken over their 30 edibles because I thought more teammates of mine were going to want to indulge in that either before the game or after the game. And to get to London, you go through your own TSA here. The team has TSA that you have to check in. Here's my passport. The Colts already have it. They took it all from everybody. It's literally you get your bags checked and then you're through. Put them in a little thing. We're good to go. It's the team's TSA. Get on the bus, fly over there. I forgot all about them. Didn't utilize them at all because how things quickly changed.
Right.
After we lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're on a team bus. They go, hey, we're going through Heathrow Airport through the real-life TSA. And at that moment, I look around. I go, oh, no. I have some things in my bag right now that have vitamins in them. I have to get rid of them. And at that point, I'd whittled it down to like 15 of them. And I look at Vinatieri, and I'm like, buddy, not good. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I guess I'm just going to throw them away in here. Couldn't do that because right next to the trash can was an English police officer. So I couldn't just walk up and dump a bunch of edibles into the thing next to the guy. He's going to ask questions. We're going to the Heathrow Airport. Now I got to do what I got to do. We finally get there. Police escorts, a lot going on. So I just take down 13 edibles.
Yikes.
See you later. Vinatieri looks at me and goes, how you doing, bub? I was like, good now, but things are about to happen. He goes, I got you, little buddy. I'm like, thank you. So we go through the little check-in thing. And right before we get to the scan of the bags thing, it all hits me. I might as well have been on Cloud 45 over there in London. They check my bag, boom, boom, boom. I get selected. Something was in my bag. So now all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, did I leave a couple in there? Oh my God. Vinatieri starts walking ahead. He turns around, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, they got my bag, man. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. So he comes and stands with me. He's like, I got you, bub. I was like, they might got me, for real. I might be staying the night in England. They go through my bag. Turns out, had a vibrating toothbrush. Thing was vibrating in my bag.
Yep.
They're like, oh, it must have been this. Or it must have been my big-ass toothpaste because you can't fly with that. I was like, you got it, pal. I get all the way back to the plane. Lost my ticket somewhere. Somehow I don't have a ticket. So now I got to check into the gate people that I don't have a ticket. I'm like, I'm on this plane. I promise I am, but I don't have a ticket. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, Patrick McAfee. The McAfee? No, yeah, whatever you want to call me. I just need a ticket. So now I have to sit there and wait as somebody brings me a ticket from the front while my entire team walks by me, knowing that I'm on Cloud 50, just having a good time. Grigson walks by, just upset, obviously. I wish he would have known that I was in a mood where he should have talked to me there. It was just a nightmare. The London trip for me from beginning to end was not good, and I think that happens for a lot of NFL players.
Take this one in your face, mother. The Pat McAfee Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio. That was lovely.
Welcome back here on this Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. Sex is cool, but have you ever tried built-in underwear? Ooh. Everyone knows Bird Dogs has shorts, but now they make pants. Yep. They stole Lululemon's designer, and they're doing it better.
All right.
That's an interesting thing to have in the read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very forward about it.
It's a smart move, though, when you think about it.
Lululemons did kind of captivate the world there for a while. I had teammates that started wearing Lululemon pants.
Really?
Proud of it, too.
Oh, yeah?
They're like, look at these pants. Look at how nice these pants are. Look how comfortable these pants are.
Hasselbeck.
pants.
Big Lululemon guy.
pants.
Yeah, and Gumpy, too.
Oh, yeah? Well,
they stole them and did it better.
Hell yeah.
That's what Bird Dogs did. Bird Dogs are pants, but they have the underwear already built in. They look exactly like your best pair of pants, but they feel like silky, soft pajamas.
Oh, love it.
There are work pants, golf pants, happy hour pants, sleep pants, workout pants.
What?
Oculus box pants.
What?
Pizza eating pants.
What?
Had 2 of them today, by the way, pants.
What?
It's going to be hard to be healthy whenever your mouth loves pizza so much, pants.
What?
The comfort is amazing. The fit, fantastic. The beat drop, great. And the material, amazing. Go to birddogs.com and enter promo code PAT, and they'll throw in a free pair of nunchucks.
Wow.
Yes, you heard that right. Nunchucks with every single order. You will not take these things off. Birddogs.com, promo code PAT, free pair of nunchucks.
Hell yeah. Love Bird Dogs.
Joining us now is a 3-time Pro Bowler. What?
One time.
Oh, shit.
It's been in the year.
3 years in the NFL. That's on me. But anyway, by the way, 3 years in the NFL, already a Pro Bowler. Damn. Aaron Rodgers called him the best middle linebacker in the NFL a couple weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, from the San Francisco 49ers, Fred Warner.
Yeah! Boy, Fred!
Oh, man. I wish 3-time Pro Bowler, that's for sure.
Well, see, that's on me. So whenever you make it here in the next couple years, we'll just cut that back and say that I called it. Mm-hmm. That's how sports media works, you know what I mean? That's how that whole thing plays out.
There you go.
How you doing, Fred? Where are you at right now?
I'm doing well. I'm at my house here in Santa Clara, taking a little time off. Obviously, season just ended, unfortunately, but, some much-needed rest.
We talked to the Juice a couple weeks ago, and he said that, you guys moved to Arizona. A lot of people were living in a hotel. He had an Airbnb, and then he thought potentially after the game, some guys were just going to go ahead and head out of town, not even go back to Santa Clara. Did you stay in an Airbnb when you were in Arizona, or were you in that hotel for like 3-4 weeks?
No, yeah, I got an Airbnb for sure.
Smart.
I don't know how the guys did it staying in a hotel for that long, but, I got an Airbnb. That was pretty close.
Complicated season, obviously, with everything that happened. You guys had a lot of injuries. What was the message from Shanahan all season? Whenever you guys had to pick up and move to Arizona, what was Shanahan like this year, you think, as opposed to maybe in years past?
He was the exact same as he's always been. That's probably one of the realest guys I've ever been around, especially as a head coach. That speaks volumes. And, he stayed constant regardless of all the guys in the roster. I think some stat I saw where we had the most amount of players like up on active roster the entire season, just because there's so many moving parts, so many guys who had to be changed from IR to active roster, and it was just a crazy season overall, a lot of adversity. But he just said how proud he was, obviously, of our fight, not of how the season went, because losing seasons are never acceptable. But that guy, I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, losing seasons suck, but this year, whenever the turnaround with the COVID, it's like, how mentally did you guys get? Obviously, you didn't. You continued to ball out or whatever, but that had to be. This was probably the most mentally demanding season of football you've ever had. You think?
Yeah, for sure. Because anytime you get uprooted from your home, that's a big enough change as it is. Because I'm such a routine guy. I know that's how a lot of people in the NFL are. You have your routine that you try to stick to, especially with like body maintenance, and that's a big part of trying to stay healthy throughout the year. And you can't just focus about football this year. You have to focus about being away from your family, about testing for COVID every single day, and abiding by all the protocols. So there was a lot that went into it.
You fly around, dude, okay? Yeah. You fly around, and you just talked about being in a routine. Do you do any weird shit with your body? You do, don't you? You do some weird stuff with your body, I can already tell. You do.
Nah, dude, no weird stuff.
You do. You got any weird workouts? You don't do any you don't get you don't sit in like Epsom salts every night? Or do you acupuncture? Do you do anything? What do you do?
Man, yeah, I do acupuncture. Massage, just kind of the basics. Just got to stick to it, though. You got to be consistent with the modality work.
Whenever you're hitting people on such a regular basis, okay, Fred, you and me have this in common. My body didn't handle it as well as I think yours has.
Sure.
I would make a tackle. I was sore for an entire week. This year, this year with no training camp or anything like that, did you have to build, are you sore whenever you first get back into the season? And how long does it take for your body just to get used to the car wrecks that you're about to throw yourself through?
It does take a little bit, I think. You do so much training in the off season, and you prepare your body so much to try and to prepare for a 17-week season. And so I know after every game, I don't feel the effects right away. It takes about 2 days for me to really like feel the soreness. Like, so usually on that Tuesday when it's our off day, and we have that body maintenance day, it's like, well, thank goodness we got this day, because I feel like I can't play football right now. So, I got to make sure I really work out that soreness and get ready to go so I can have a good practice on Wednesday.
49ers a Toradol team or no?
I think every NFL team is a Toradol team, but
the Packers are not. The Packers are
Really?
not. Fred, when I learned this, from AJ Hawk and then Aaron confirmed it, I've never been more mind blown in my life at their success. I've never been more mind blown in my entire life, Fred. It was mind blowing.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Fred, if you're a member of the Philadelphia Eagles team, okay? No, Fred, I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you what you think I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to put you in a terrible situation here.
All right.
But it's getting leaked now that players had to be held back from fighting Doug Peterson on the sideline. Then there was a conversation with Jason Kelce. That locker room right now, how do you fix that locker room, you think? It feels like there's quite a divide. Because let's say the players that did get held back from fighting Peters, let's say they weren't the ones that leaked this information. Some other player on the team leaked that information. For what reason? You know what I mean? Like, how do you get that locker room back, you think? Fred, could you?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I have no idea because I've never even touched even close to that type of situation with the Niners. We are such a tight knit group, and the number one rule is protect the team. And so I don't know what I would do. There's so many things going on in that organization, a lot that I don't even know about, because even in that situation, I don't know all the facts. All I heard was they pulled Jalen Hurts from the game. Everybody got upset saying that they were just, they were tanking the game. I don't know. I don't really know what happened. And then that's news to me that people were trying to fight each other on the sideline, and I didn't know anything about that. So that's why I don't even know what would happen. So.
I think that's why I'm so surprised by all this as well, because as a guy who got a chance to witness a lot of great teams, right, firsthand, the leaking of information from the locker room to the media is always my biggest problem. Like, for instance, Dallas Cowboys week 6, it was already getting leaked that the head coaches were terrible, and I'm like, who's leaking this information? And then this stuff comes out a day after the whole situation. I'm like, who's telling the media that these players are trying to beat up the coach? Because those people, by the way, do not care about how that locker room is going to be forever. That's great to hear that your team's thing is like protect the franchise at all. Is that Shanahan? Is that Lynch? Is that the locker room? Who is that, you think? Or is it just kind of like if new guys come in there, they just know like, hey, this is how it is over here?
Yeah, I think that's just one of those things that's not really spoken about a lot. It's just something that's known amongst everyone, and we have such a good culture on our team. So, I think everybody's pretty close on the team as well. We got a pretty close brotherhood, and I don't think you see that a lot in the NFL just because of there's so many different things that go into it besides just playing ball, right? There's guys making a lot of money, and you got to take care of your families and so on and so forth. But I mean, we do. I think they do a great job, and again, I hope they figure it out in Philly. I really do, because to win a Super Bowl, in the last 5 years, 5 or 6 years, so and then kind of get to where they're at right now, it's unfortunate.
Fred, obviously, you guys were in the Super Bowl last year. This year, much more difficult. What do we need to work on next year to be the best Fred Warner, to be the best San Francisco 49er team? What are we working on this offseason? Is there any self-scout that has already happened? Are we going to add any weird things to the body maybe this offseason to take us to the next level? What are you working on, Fred?
There'll for sure be weird things added. You always got to make sure you're looking at what else you can do to help help the body, help your game. But I think as a team, we just got to stay healthy, and that's easier said than done. There's going to be injuries every year, but I think that injury bug hit us the hardest this year, and we didn't have guys available. Like when we have our team available, like we literally have one of the most talented football teams in the entire NFL. So when we have our guys on the field, it's hard for teams to beat us, and especially with the scheme we run and on both sides of the football, we play complementary football, and we just need our guys on the field. And I'm looking forward to just really attacking this offseason hard, because last offseason we really didn't even have like a true offseason with the COVID outbreak. Just it was new for everyone, and things were shutting down, and now we kind of have a better idea of how to navigate it.
You feel like you're figuring out NFL offenses at this point, or you think you still have room to grow? Because they always talk about quarterbacks understanding defense and their maturity and everything like that. But inside linebacker, you got to do the same goddamn thing. I mean, you have to do the same thing. You have to figure out offenses. Has the game slowed down for you? At what year, maybe, was there a game that you were like, you know what, I'm starting to figure out what the hell's going on? Because you're an obviously incredible player, but I would assume there were some moments that it kind of took to get to this point in the NFL, right?
Right, and it's for sure slowed down. When I came into the NFL, I never played off the ball linebacker or gave calls or played Mike, and so like I'm trying to worry so much about just what my job is. You know, I'm trying to line up and make sure I don't mess anything up as a rookie, and then going into year 2, I know a little bit more, so then I'm able to anticipate plays a little more. And then this year, the game just really slowed down for me, and being able to identify, offenses, formations, and tendencies. And I know it's only going to continue to get slower to where I can put myself in position to make more plays.
I'll tell you what, if I was playing against you, because I am an NFL quarterback, Fred, I'm looking this way, throwing this way. Just so I'm joking. I would throw an interception to you immediately upon releasing the ball. Diggs, what do you got?
Fred, is your defensive coordinator Bob Salah going to be a head coach somewhere next season?
I hope so. You know, I do not hope so, and I do hope so. I do hope so because I love him to death. You know, that's an all-time coach right there. Just how he's mentored me in my game, and then as a defense. So I mean, I'd be happy for him if he did, and then I'd be happy if he didn't, because then I get to keep one of the best defense coaches in football on our team. So.
Is he always jacked? Is he always jacked up? Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, man.
He's
man.
He's probably one of the most like mild-mannered, like just chill guys I've ever been around. And then on game day, he just explodes and lets all his passion out on the sidelines. So
I would have never, ever guessed that. That's breaking news to me right there. So you're saying Monday through Saturday, even in the Sunday morning, like cerebral, quiet, here we go. Then game day, it's like, boom, let's go for it. He flips the switch on game day like players do?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he'll literally run the stadium before the games just to get his mind right heading into it. And, no, he's literally one of the most mild-mannered people. Like, on the field, he'll never, like, raise his voice at a player. Like, he might get stern with you, but, like, he's, like, always just right here, you know. And then on game day, it's just –
Bro, and he has that tan, like, glistening head.
Oh, yeah.
Just became a perfect. What do you got, Connor?
Hey, Fred, obviously we're a pro Aaron Rodgers show, and he is the best ball thrower in the NFL. But what makes it so much harder to go up against him than it is any other quarterback?
Jeez, you put him in a spot there.
Put him in his
By the way, a lot of other quarterbacks you have to do this for.
MVP Tuesday.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. No, I see he's a regular on the show, and I got a lot of respect for Aaron, just like he has respect for me. And the thing that separates him, I think, is just his savvy. You know, like he's out there, the way he's just able to flick the ball in places, like even at, this late in the game. And it's just his mind. He's just such a smart player, and he knows exact situations. And I think that's why you see him so successful in like those 2-minute situations or at the end of a game. And, the fact that he's had an MVP year, how old is he now? Like 36 or something. So, it's pretty impressive.
But you called him old.
Later in his career.
Nah, Fred. I'm gonna let him know. We talked to him like 20 minutes or so. He was very nice to you about you.
Absolutely.
He was very nice to Fred, wasn't he?
Yeah, very complimentary.
Absolutely.
Fred.
Yeah.
And Fred's just like, hey, his old ass can still throw.
Not returning the favor.
No way.
It is amazing. It looks like he could play another 8 years at this point, though. 10 years, maybe.
Oh, for sure. Easily. I mean, he's about to win MVP. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, he's really good. You guys train together ever? Did you guys ever train together?
No, we never trained together, but it's funny because we're in the same agency, and he came and talked to the rookies when I was coming out for the draft, and just kind of introduced himself, shared some few words of wisdom, and then I was able to finally compete against him. And then I remember my rookie year, it was a Monday night game, and we were literally at a timeout break, and he kind of looks over at me, and he gives me the thumbs up. He's like, "Hey, good job, man. Good job." And I didn't know whether to hate him or to be like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." Like Aaron's telling me good job, and I was, it was kind of I didn't know what to do. I was like, So
that's like the That's like the Hall and DeAndre Hopkins mic'd up from training camp. When Hall is like grabs DeAndre, he's like, "Hey, when you do this, you should do this instead." And DeAndre's like, "I'm one of you. You don't do what you like." Aaron doing that though, it's like, it's still Aaron though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if
exactly.
Shane Leckler came up to me one time, and this is obviously a different position, different thing, but Shane Leckler came over to me and he said like, "Hey, you're the guy now," or whatever. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." But if that was some bum punter that did that, I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up. Get the hell. I don't need you telling me that I'm good at my job." But if it's somebody great, I think that's a massive compliment. I would assume now linebacker, quarterback, you two are staring each other down the entire game. It's probably a little bit different animal. What do you got, Ty?
Fred, has there been one quarterback or just anyone really who you just have loved smacking in the mouth since you've been in the league?
I haven't had a lot of opportunities to smack the quarterback, especially since the game we play in. You're not allowed to really touch him anymore.
Woo! Soft. NFL's soft, Fred Warren.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
safe.
I won't give any names specifically. No clickbait. But anytime I get to hit a quarterback, it's great.
What is your with the new NFL? Are you young enough now? Probably that heads up football was probably your entire high school and college, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Because the obviously I don't want to say like, whenever we played football, because that'd be a little bit messed up. But guys used to go. I mean, it was you were trying to head down, assassinate. Like, those were the highlights. So you were basically throughout your entire football career taught like the heads up football thing, the smart football style.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, man. It was a tough transition there for a while. Guys were in trouble. James Harrison cost him like $700,000.
Entire year's salary.
He was like, well, you guys have run like 3 hours worth of highlights of me hitting people, and now you're just like, yep, give me all your money. Give me all your money at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Fred, enjoy the offseason. Appreciate your time. Hopefully you'll come back on the show. We enjoyed talking to you. Sorry the season didn't work out however you wanted, but next year you guys will give it a go again.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on.
When were you drafted? What round?
Third round, 70th overall.
So is that a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal for third or 4?
4-year deal.
Oh, you're going into your contract year.
Ooh.
Hey, watch out.
Hey, Fred, let's go get the bag, Fred. Go get the bag and win some games. Good for the team, but let's go good for Fred. Yeah. Hey, good luck out there, ladies and gentlemen. Pro Bowler Fred Warren. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Fred's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get broken off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Good for him. They traded out Quan Alexander, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, this is your team now, bud. Do whatever you got to do.
When I just saw it during the interview, I was looking up his name, and I should have known this beforehand, but he won they voted him MVP of the 49ers this season. Is that a big deal when you do that for a team?
Yeah. When your team votes for you, it's a big deal. Yeah. It's much more important. Yeah, it's a big deal. Good for him. Who else would have got it, potentially?
Kittle was hurt, so not him.
Yeah, but
Jeff Wilson. Kyle
Juszczyk, maybe. There it is. That would have been on the offense side. I just went through like 5 players in my head real quick, and it was like, Debo. Oh, he got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, he got hurt. He got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. Oh, they all got hurt. Yeah. And he said the most active players, that means they had to cycle people through that roster. And by the way, they were dealing with injuries whenever they had that 6-day quarantine for anybody you bring in. If you want to work out somebody, they had to go into a quarantine for 6 days. Then they could work out for your team. Then you could decide whether or not you wanted to sign them. And that's already a week after you probably already needed the player. Mm-hmm. It was very interesting early on in the year. San Francisco 49ers had to move. I mean, that's one of the roughest years of all time.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably enjoying the little time there. I don't know what was going on in the background, but something was popping
Couple
off.
game balls up there, look like.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about him, but it's bad radio.
Yeah, true.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Hey, over your shoulder there, I see 2 actual game balls there. Who was it? How was it? He was a freak, though, that guy on the field.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
he flies. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see him get paid. Let's go to Carter in Cleveland. What's going on, Carter?
Hey, Pat, how's it going? Happy Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Hey, happy Aaron Rodgers to you as well over there in Cleveland. Stay away from the COVID. It's running wild over there in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, I got to stay inside, and thanks for keeping us all entertained during these COVID times. We appreciate it.
Well, as long as everybody's safe, that's all we care about. That's all we care about, Carter.
Yeah, so I'm actually wondering because, the Browns did just play the Steelers on Sunday, right?
Yeah, they did right the other day.
So I'm looking at the game film, and I'm seeing old Joe Bitonio. He's breathing on the Steelers' defensive line. We got Minka Fitzpatrick tackling Kadero Hodge.
Oh, no.
Is there a chance we got a little a little cross contamination there, or what?
Well, and then you think about it, Stefanski and Tomlin, they talk to each other before the game and after the game. You're right, Carter. I would assume, Carter, good call there, Carter. That's an astute observation from Carter and Cleveland.
It's not, because it hasn't happened once this entire season.
No, Carter's worried.
Not once.
Yeah. Carter's worried.
Not once. We have made it very clear that COVID is afraid of the football field, and it does not spread that way.
It seems very interesting that you Steelers fans all of a sudden don't care about the T's and P's and the thoughts and prayers or the safety of anybody that has COVID. You guys only care about your players being able to play.
Steelers been doing their best all year long to take care of these guys.
Yeah.
And then you got the Titans, you got the Ravens, you got the Browns, just messing it up for everybody else.
The Steelers have encountered teams that have COVID.
Oh, yeah.
That is what the Steelers have done this year. They might be the X factor when it comes to COVID games, whenever you look back on the 2020 season on things having to be moved, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Carter brings up a point. Minkah Fitzpatrick, whenever he tackled old buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a good wrap-up, good clean tackle. Yeah,
hung on to him for a second.
Heads-up football, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay? They're teaching him heads-up football. What are you doing?
Not good.
A little sweat there.
I assume the NFL is looking into that.
Catching some
They got
sweat.
time investigating Doug Peterson because Sal Powell said so. But they'll be investigating the contact tracing from Sunday's game against the Browns. And by the way, that might be why Tomlin kept Cam Hayward out.
Smart. Didn't make the trip.
We don't know if any of their offensive linemen potentially have COVID. Don't need them breathing on Cam Hayward. Keep your ass at home.
Smart.
Smart. I believe I'm not doing that. That would jeopardize a friendship.
Don't do it.
Don't do it?
Don't do it.
It would be kind of breaking news, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Well, might as well then.
Then maybe let's think about it.
Go ahead.
They would involve the Steelers.
Okay, yes.
Take your phone.
Oh, come on.
Let's go to Paul in Tennessee. What's going on, Paul?
We normally
what's up,
know
man?
what you're talking about when you do this. I have no
Hey, I
idea.
love the show. I'm just gonna cut straight to it because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. Do you have any ideas for Rodgers in terms of just winning the MVP and I know you're really involved in WWE stuff and all that. Love that, by the way. And I don't know. I was just thinking, he seems like a very sentimental guy, and he talks about Bakhtiari, getting in the car or whatever the model of the car. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe some kind of championship belt or something like that,
Oh, not a bad idea, Paul. From us to him for winning the MVP. Ooh. Not a bad idea there. I mean, we kind of gave away the surprise here with you talking about it on the show. Mm-hmm. He might be potentially listening. I would assume he is. Kind of catch the vibe of the show that he's going to be dropping into. I'd assume he does do that because he's Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But you're right. I think he does deserve a gift from all of us for the MVP award that he has won.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
How much? He moved to minus 2,000 odds, by the way. Josh Allen plus 800 in second place. That means that Aaron Rodgers basically a lock for the MVP, which we did decide 1 week ago. We called it early, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we watched Politics Night or whatever their night. We watched the Politics Super Bowl, okay, election night.
We did.
That's when we learned about Stefanski.
Kornacki.
Yeah.
Steve
Stefanski, Kornacki.
Yes.
Stephen
Yes.
Kornacki.
Combined them.
The author and Matt Man, Stephen Kornacki. Now Sunday Night Football, Football Night in America, playoff percentage guy.
Yes.
That's where you learn about him. But I'll tell you what else when you watch those nights, some people called some things early. Okay, that's what they did. We're going to call this one early. It's over. We're going to call this one early. We called the MVP race early last week. You're welcome, everybody else. You're breaking our news that we already broke.
Yeah. Old news.
I think Boswell's kicking this weekend.
Whoa!
That's what I think.
Jeez.
I think Boswell's kicking for the Steelers this weekend. I do believe.
I love Boz.
That's awesome.
He's back, so we're good.
Boz is back.
He had that one bad year, but we're back.
He's all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
Tony doesn't sound confident in old Buzz.
He does. Yeah, he does.
I love Boz.
Yeah, well, he also liked Matt Wright, though, too, the kicker that they had.
Yeah.
Matt Wright, by the way, one of the most accurate kickers I've ever seen. That guy could put a ball in a keyhole if he had to. I honestly believe that. But he can't move he's so small, that ball doesn't move that far.
Is he going to hit from 50 plus? No.
Doesn't have to, by the way. There's a lot of kickers that haven't been able to hit from 50 plus that have made long careers. But Boz, if he is back, which I do believe Boz is back for this weekend's game for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the COVID-riddled Cleveland Browns at this point on Sunday Night Football, Boswell has big swinging leg, hits the ball far, kickoff.
That's big.
It's good news, yeah.
Huge.
Matt Wright, though, did his job, right, for
His
the Steelers?
job, he was perfect. Didn't miss a kick.
He was a hell of a kicker, man. I didn't know he existed. Hell of a kicker.
Besides the very first week when Tomlin wouldn't send him out from 43 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Tomlin, he had to earn his trust a little bit.
Yeah.
I seen him in practice. I ain't putting his ass out.
Can't hit 43.
Let's go to Hayden in Texas. Last call of the hour. What's going on, Hayden?
Hey, Pat. How's it going, man?
Hey, not too shabby. Hayden, what part of Texas are you in?
Austin.
Oh, down there, Joe Rogan's town.
Yeah.
That's where Joe Rogan's living down there.
Pat to Austin.
Hey, hook 'em, dude. Okay, cool. Hook 'em.
I just wanted to know, Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, is that a one-year turnaround down there in Duval?
What's that, dude?
I said, Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, is that a one-year turnaround down there in Duval?
Oh, okay. I mean, how the fuck do we know, Hayden?
I mean, their roster stinks.
Hey, well, no. Bro, Joe Dirt in the fucking secondary.
Which
and Schobert, we just talked about.
Ragnar, Schobert.
We have heard about
Miles
Ragnar.
Jack.
His
Miles-
only 2 good plays were actually against the Colts. Apparently, he is the worst player on the Jags.
But in my eyes, the games that I watch at the Jaguars, that guy's unbelievable. His potential is through the roof. He might have Phil Rivers' number, and if he can get every other quarterback in the NFL, Ragnar, Joe Dirt-looking guy, might be an MVP next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude flies
that might
around.
be a real thing. But I have no idea. Nobody even knows if Urban Meyer is going to be in Jacksonville or if he's going to be a good. Now, is Trevor Lawrence going to be a bust? Nobody knows. Trevor Lawrence is going to be great, I think. But there are people that are saying that Trevor Lawrence probably not going to work in the NFL because he had one bad game, maybe. I mean, there's so many question marks to so many things and having success. But I would love to see old Trevor Lawrence turn around Duval down there because Shad Khan's pool paradise would be lit in Duval. I mean, it would be wild down there. And that fan base is a fan base that if they were to enjoy themselves, I think it'd be good for the NFL. I think it'd be good to have that team going. But nobody has a clue. Nobody has a clue. And is Urban going to sign up to work for Shad Khan in football? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But maybe Urban Meyer isn't like a control guy that we all maybe assume he is.
Tough to
Maybe he would just like to go down in there and coach. Who knows? Hour 2 wrapping up. Big thanks to Fred Warner. Aaron Rodgers joins us on the other side. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We'll see you in about 6 minutes. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
You know, I sometimes laugh when people talk about, down years for me, because a lot of times down years for me are career years for most quarterbacks.
That was awesome.
Hey, it's just the facts, bro.
You and me, I think, are the only people that can do it, dude.
That's old hat, Pat. I've been doing that for years. I've learned that in high school.
Hey, can you explain when you actually say the words hard count in your hard count and it works?
Was that trolling? That was definitely trolling.
I saw that. No, why would I say hard count? That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I did not say hard count.
I want to know what's this bye week like for you, man? Like,
So COVID test every day, and at some point you got to let adults be adults and make decisions, understand the consequences. We can't hold everybody by the hand.
Yeah, a bubble would be awesome, Aaron. Put you guys all in one big hotel, huh?
Yeah, I won't be a big fan of that. All
I guess not.
The fucking media does is write stories to get clicks. So it doesn't matter. Like, I can give a long answer about something, and they can take a blip of it and write a story about it that has nothing to do with what I was saying.
so how do you know what to believe then, A-Rod?
I think you just have to be skeptical in general. I think that's having an open mind, is being skeptical and not just believing everything at face value, and do your own research and not just listen to something because somebody told you, some blue check mark on Twitter told you to believe something. You should have an open mind and feel into what you think is the truth.
Hey, you were preaching right there, sir. You were preaching right there. You said in the interview that you would add an extra finger to your scotch drink or whatever. A finger is just what? Just one finger this way or this way?
Yeah, like this, bro.
So did you do 4 on Sunday? You did a full fucking glass?
It was a long night. We didn't get home. I didn't get home till like 11:40.
Look at how much scotch that is. Is that what you did?
It's not that much.
That's 4 fingers, dude. You said you normally do 3. That's 4 right there.
But you have those fat sausages. It hasn't been cordial over the years between me and Sue. You know, we've had some battles over the years. I think I mentioned that he got frozen feet and didn't realize he was stepping on my calf. He also stomped on one of my teammates at one point. I was under the impression that we were going to have a conversation after the game. And there might have been some loss in translation, whether or not he was talking about the, see you at the bus conversation. I thought it seemed more like, hey, let's have a little, come to Jesus moment. I was looking for that conversation. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't think it was going to, look, I'm not going to play number 2.
Do you think it was the 3 pumps that potentially got you into deep shit with the football gods, Aaron?
You, of all people, a man who is celebrated as much as anybody at your position, you must realize whether necessary or unnecessary. The celebrations have no correlation in that sense.
You needed a kick in the ass. Do you just think everybody was getting kind of too comfortable and had a bye week and had a chance to soak it in? Hey, we're very, very good. Is that what you meant by that?
I mean, I think we all need that a little bit. When the complacency starts to sink in and you start kind of feeling yourself a little bit, it's always good to kind of get knocked down. And I think it can be a good thing. I'm not saying, look, nobody wants to lose to fucking figure things out. Great teams have consistent habits. And so we got to keep doing the things that got us to 4-0 in order to get back to where we want to be.
Here, here, huh?
Yeah.
Here, here. Attaboy, Aaron!
I know you were an extra in Game of Thrones. I wanted to get your opinion on how you think the show ended.
So I think many of us were disappointed and confused by the ending.
Which one were you? Do you know which one you were yet?
The guy running duck-footed heel first with his arms splaying all about.
Yeah, no cakes. Weak jaw. Turned into the alley. Was that you?
I think that guy's related to AJ somehow.
Oh, shit!
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is hour 3 of this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 5th, 2021 years past 0. I don't understand exactly when we started keeping track of the years, and I'm not getting into that conversation. But I do know the conversation we're about to have is going to be one that's riveting and also very, very inspiring and also high intellect having. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, college football champion and Super Bowl champion, AJ Hawk. What's up, Mr. Hawk?
What's up, guys? We don't have Aaron yet?
I think we're calling him right now. We weren't able to get to break a little bit ago. I mean, today has been a wild day, but we are so thankful to have you on, AJ.
It's good to be here. I think I don't know what's going on. Was it a full moon last night? Does Connor have any? Okay. I'm guessing he has some opinions on what may be going on.
AJ, thank you for that. Thank you for
Heads
asking.
down tomorrow.
Okay. Oh,
Heads down. Heads down.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who had 19 completions this past weekend, 4 of them being touchdown, could have been 5 very easily. The 2020 NFL MVP. The team he plays for has a bye week this weekend because they were number 1 in the NFC. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, AJ's back.
Yeah.
Ty's back. We got the whole family back.
Hey, wait till you see what Ty's. Hey, look at what Ty's wearing, huh? Ready to go, pal. Ready to go out there.
Standard.
Now, Aaron, you do know that you just got 6 cents for that purchase of that jersey from Ty Schmidt. So congrats to you on getting a little bit of a payday on that jersey, Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, thanks, Tyson. Thanks so much.
It's always nice to get I get a check from the NFL for $13.57, and they're like, "You sold 200 jerseys." I'm like, "Thank you so much. That is awesome." Aaron, congratulations on the number 1 seed in the bye week this weekend. I believe congratulations are in store. What does this mean to you this year? Longer year, obviously. How will you be spending this bye week, and how pumped are you for it for the entire team, not just yourself?
Yeah, I'm in Tahiti right now, so it's been a good couple days. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably here the entire time, every second.
Will you watch? Will you watch the games? Will you watch every game?
No, I don't think so.
See, now that would be something people would be intrigued by, because the thought would be, well, shouldn't he be watching the team that he's potentially going to play? That's what people will say. And to do that, you have to watch every single game, basically, at this point.
Well, I'm going to see all the film anyway on our opponent, so there's not. I don't think there's a whole lot to do there. I mean, I might watch it from a fan standpoint for a little bit, but I'm going to be seeing all the film of our opponent, so it's. I don't know. We'll see. I might check out a couple of them. There's 6 games. I mean, that's super
wild card weekend, Aaron.
Yeah, super wild card.
Hey, what are you going to be doing then? You claim you're not going to be watching these games. Like, then what goes on? You just roam the house, just aimlessly trying to find something to do?
Great question.
Yeah. Just walk around in a scotch-induced stupor for 72 hours. Age, I told you, man. I got other things going on, other interests. You know, there's good times for naps and for reading and making snowmen. We still got snow out here. You know what I mean? There's a lot. Snow women as well. There's a lot of fun to be had.
Very smart of you there. You're about to get attacked potentially by the pro snow woman community for getting bashed all of these years. So you literally will just. You'll do not like I'm so interested because you told us last time you went camping on your property, and I believed it. By the way, as soon as you said it, I was like, of course he did. Like you will literally you have like a series maybe you'll watch this weekend. Will there be maybe time for Ted Lasso this weekend? Maybe get you in a good mood going into the playoffs with Ted Lasso and inspired, something like that?
This could be a Ted Lasso weekend for sure, or I could head down to my fairly new gym put together by the good people at Power. Okay? I get 0 money from them. This is a free ad for them. They sent me a hell of a rack and enough weight to get 4 plates on each side of the old squat rack. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm just going to be pushing a ton of weight. Maybe taking a page out of AJ's playbook and getting on the Versa. Like 5:30 in the morning, doing a lot of one-legged squats and weird, hip up things that he likes to do.
Jesus.
Let me get that workout, Age. Send it over.
I'll fax it to you. With Powerlift, what happened? Did they hear you? Someone wrote that story that you're really focusing on your legs this year. That's why you're having such a great year, and then they just send you a squat rack?
And what did the handwritten letter that came with the rack say?
First of all, I paid for it. Second of all, I went through Bloke. Bloke helped me look into some companies that could help me out. I got Powerlift to give me a rack. I got Iron Grips to grab me some iron. How would you say iron? How do you say iron in Pittsburgh?
Iron. Yeah. IORN. Yeah, for sure. Iron.
Yeah. Iron. Yeah, like Iron City. Great beer, I've heard. I've actually enjoyed a couple of them from time to time. But yeah, Iron City. And but Iron Grips gave me some dumbbells. So. Big thanks to both of those companies.
All right.
Again, if they gave, I mean, I paid for them.
Yeah, but they created the product, though, for you to buy, which is very nice of them. Very nice of you, by the way, too, to support them. And shout out to Powerlift, by the way. We've been getting squats in here at the office.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say we need, I don't know, what, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds worth of weights in this office.
At least.
Shout out to Powerlift, dude, by the way. Big fans over here if they want to
You got a rack in there?
Oh, yeah. We do have a rack in here, actually.
Nice. You kind of make it into like what Rogan's got in his studio.
So, Fantasy Factory, right? If you were of my age, were you into the Dare Deck sensation, or were you before that or after that?
Robin Big?
Yeah, Robin Big and Fantasy Factory and everything like that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I watched that, obviously. And shout out to you for watching that. It makes sense that you did. Great show. And rest in peace to Big, by the way. I got to party with him one night. Great time. Old Big is a great time. But the Fantasy Factory is kind of what is kind of happening here. Not as nice, okay, and our weather isn't always good because it's not Southern California. But yeah, we got a gym, got a basketball court. Obviously, you'll see all these things when you come. We got a football like circus basically out here. Kind of looks like the Pro Bowl quarterback challenge out here.
Yeah.
We got all these things in here, just trying to have a good time, Aaron.
That's amazing. We should, and in AJ's house. AJ, you want to take us on a little tour real quick?
No, I can't do that, buddy. But yeah, you've attempted to work out in my basement before. You came down and watched me for a little bit one time.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of working out there. It's too much fun to be had. You know what I mean?
Aaron,
why get up at 5:15 in the morning and get on the Versa for 22 minutes when you can sleep in till 8 and have a little, latte waiting for you in the kitchen?
I agree.
And better just wanting to hang out and watch wrestling videos. It's a pretty good start to the day.
Hey, by the way, I heard that's what you do with AJ's kids whenever you're over there. You might be the perfect house guest. That sounds like okay. Not only, by the way, kids are gonna have old Uncle Aaron over, who's gonna win his third MVP. But while your dad's down there getting his jawline right, okay, all morning, old Uncle Aaron's gonna be watching YouTube WWF videos, WWE videos. You're like the perfect house guest over there, from what I've been told.
Well, I definitely try and add to the group, not take away, not do my own thing, hang in the basement, smoke cigars by myself. I try and be a part of the group and hang out with the people who are housing me.
Aaron, how does the body going into this season with no training camp? Okay, you said that your elbow didn't have pain for the first time in like 10 years. I forget the exact 10 years or 15 years or something like that. You said. How does the body feel at the end of this season? Right now, you're playing better than ever. How does the body feel as compared to other years in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I haven't been on the injury report all season, which got to be the first in a while. Like not even didn't miss a day of practice all season. So if that says anything. It says I probably still got, a few more years left in the old body.
Hey, Fred called you old. Fred Warner called you old earlier today.
Compared to him, I am.
True. Very true. Very true.
I saw you had Fred on.
He's a good guy. He said you gave him a thumbs up and he didn't know how to react, whether to be like upset or like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is telling me I'm good. I assume he went the second way, but I bet, does that happen much with you talking to young guys? Because they probably are all fans of yours growing up.
Yeah, well, I've known Fred since he was a pre-drafted rookie. Got to know him a little bit. We got the same agent, and I was a fan of his from the start. That's really
the money team. He's a part of the money team with Ed. Let's go. Hey,
he's on the contract side. He's on A1.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Ed. By the way.
Easy, slow your roll.
I'm sorry. I love Ed. Ed made the magic happen. That's on me. Sorry.
But that class was like Fred was in that class. Andrews, a tight end from Baltimore. Derwin James. There was some pretty talented guys in that class. And I remember telling some people around here, I said, hey, any of these guys would fit pretty good on our team. And obviously, I think Derwin got picked in the first round early, so we didn't really have a chance for him. Mark got picked, I believe, in the second or third round, and Fred went, fourth or fifth round?
Third.
Fred was third round?
Yeah, I just learned that today. I didn't know either going into the interview. That's probably something I should know, and I didn't know, so I just asked him outright. And he's too young to be offended by that question, so I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, it's a steal in the third round.
Agreed. But a lot of the younger guys probably grew up fans of yours, because you hear whenever you make quotes on this show and you flex a little bit, and it's hilarious, obviously, and the context is joking, but then when it gets quoted around like Bleacher Report or ESPN and they just take your quote of what you said and put it up, the posts are all from other athletes that are just like, GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. A lot of younger guys that are like, that's the guy. Do you have those moments with those younger guys that, like, it feels as almost they were fans of yours growing up and now they're like competing against you, and it's like those conversations that happen on the field?
Oh, for sure. That happens all the time. But they'll, TV timeouts, guy come over and say, hey, you're my favorite quarterback growing up. One guy said it to Devontae this year. Said, yeah, you're my favorite receiver in the league. And he's like, I'm not that old. I said, you're getting up there a little bit, buddy. Just get used to it. That's what when I used to go out for pregame warm-ups with no pads on, that would be a lot of the conversation. It'd be, young guys would come over, and you wouldn't get a whole lot actually done throwing or anything, just because you're, seeing young guys and guys and it's kind of a revolving kind of meet and greet. So that's why I stay inside now until the pregame warm-ups.
That's smart. Nobody came and talked to me out there, so I loved it.
It's not about that. It's just like the only reason to go out is to throw, like get a little warm. And I never really felt like I needed a whole lot. It was more because I popped my calf a couple times and I wanted to make sure my legs were warm. And I was just kind of getting superstitious about, getting 20 throws in with Jordy before the game and getting my calves warmed up and my hamstrings warmed up. And now I'm just kind of over that mindset, and I don't need it.
How do you learn that routine? Like when you come in as a quarterback in the NFL, do you have to sit there and just do what your coaches tell you, or like say there's a starter and you're a backup, you got to do what he does and follow him?
No, not necessarily. I mean, Brett never really liked to go out either. I don't think he ever really went out in those 3 years. For me, it was just kind of, all right, what did I do in college? In college, you went out with your leg pads on and you warmed up and you ran around and you threw some passes. So that's what I started doing. And then when it gets cold, then that's that crisis of conscience where you're like, do I really want to go out right now because it's like 20 degrees? I don't have pads on yet. Or do I want to stay inside? And, I think your routine, you have to watch the older guys, but at the same time, it has to be something that's comfortable for you.
I used to go out because I wanted to feel the wind, early. I was superstitious about it. Need to see 10 turnover before I put the pads on. A little mentally weak of me now that I think about it.
You need to see 10 punts turnover?
I need to see 10 turnover. And they need to go, too. And I'm going in there. It's like, all right, we're going to have a good day.
Going in there?
Yeah, sometimes I'll tell you, took us like 25, 30 balls to get those 10 good ones, and we went into the locker room shook. There were some conversations on whether or not. Can I get to your throwing motion?
Yeah.
You seem to throw like a dart. Do you agree with the way you throw? Have you always thrown? For instance, talk to Josh Allen earlier in the year. Josh Allen had this science thing connected to his body that basically told him what was firing when, like a golf simulator. Basically, it was like a golf simulator. And it turns out his hands were in front of his hips, so it was a little bit off, and he got his hips more in tune with his body and everything like that. He's changed his throwing motion, and you've been able to see that, obviously, on the field. You're just notoriously known as this guy who's just a great ball thrower, like the greatest thrower of a pigskin of all time. Did you ever go through all those things, or when did you do you ever change it? Are you changing it, or has it been the same ever since high school, basically?
Well, I went through some different mechanical adjustments from really junior college to Cal and back to the league. When I went from JUCO to Cal, Coach Tedford wanted the ball up on the shelf. I'm sure you guys can find a picture of that quickly with that ball way up by my ear. And then naturally the next, once I got drafted after 2 years, I was like, man, I want it to be a little more comfortable, kind of back down where I held it at junior college and in high school. So I just naturally kind of moved it down, and since then, it's just about muscle memory, remembering how to throw kind of each type of throws, and watching Brett and different fundamentals and trying to figure out why he was doing certain things, and then little drills you can do to work on your balance and your hitch and your weight distribution and your rhythm and your timing and all that. But it just comes down to remembering the throws and then the kind of locking those away and being able to access those in the moment to be accurate.
How much can you change as a quarterback? Remember back when Tebow was coming out of college, I believe, they're like, he's working on this guru, he's going to change his throwing motion. I'm not saying Tebow specifically, but can you change your throwing motion?
It's tough. It's really tough. Malcolm Gladwell talks about it takes 10,000 times doing something to become an expert of it. 10,000 throws is a lot of throws. And I think if you've banked, say, 50 to 100,000 throws, doing it a certain way, 10,000 isn't going to be enough to change it. It's going to be, I don't really know how, unless you can fit yourself up on some sort of special harness or machine to get you in a certain way. I think it's hard to kind of break ingrained muscle memory. That's why I always tell the young quarterbacks, and Tom Clements used to harp on this as a young player for me, but exaggerating fundamentals in the drill work is the only way anything can carry over to the active live situations, because you have to overdo it in order for something to click in when you're in those live drills to be able to change things. So for me, it was exaggerating maybe my hitch to make sure I'm really using my legs at the back end of my drop, or exaggerating the movement in the pocket where I'm not just slightly getting off the midline, I am jumping off the midline right, jumping left, to learn how to incorporate the subtlest of movements into the pocket of your game. So that's one thing that's really helped me, I think, over the years, was that guidance of exaggerating all the little things in order for something to kind of click in when the live bullets flow. Because when you're out there and just playing, you're going to revert back to your normal muscle memory, and unless you've exaggerated that and tested that time and time again, just throwing a certain way over time is not really going to change. It has to be exaggerated for there to be meaningful change.
Do you practice? You said you haven't missed a practice. Do you throw every day too? Are you on a pitch count at this point, or are you doing all drills, everything?
I actually didn't think I needed to be on a pitch count this year based on the change in schedule. We ramped everything up. And I said on the show early, but we had those 10 days or whatever where it was really a slow acclimation period to training camp. I didn't have any arm trouble, and I didn't need to be on a pitch count the entire year, which has been really nice.
Did you change anything in your body, like dieting or anything like that? Or is this just strictly, you think, with the way you've approached it from, the powerlifting with the squats on your back and the no OTAs and the forced throwing? Has there been any other changes you've made? Powerlift, yeah. Shout out, dude.
Just lifting. No, I think the great people of Wisconsin don't like hearing this a lot, but I say it because it's the truth. Cutting gluten and, probably most importantly for me and my own blood type, dairy out of my diet has really made a difference on my body. It's just changed the way my joints respond. It's changed the way my skin and body responds. I don't feel bloated all the time. I don't feel kind of slow and foggy. And there were things that I tried to use as control factors over the years to figure out what exactly were the few things that affected my body the most. And cutting out gluten and dairy has been a big part of, I think, having less inflammation in my body. Less inflammation, you're going to be healthier, and I just haven't had the joint issues that I've had in years past. Now, I haven't taken as many shots as well. I've only, sacked 20 times this year, which was a low for me, for my career, which I'm very thankful for. But the diet part has been a big part of it too.
Did you have to give blood for that? That's what that one where you have to give blood, and then they give you a whole diagnosis, and they're like, well, your body reacts great to wheat and to the hay and to the meats, but I'll tell you what, dairy is going to be tough in Wisconsin. Dairy is a problem. Is that how that whole thing played out, and how long ago did that happen for you?
Yeah, that was about verbatim how it happened.
I thought so.
No, I haven't actually done the official blood test yet. I just have done different types of diets over the years and figuring out what those control variables are. And for me, when I would cut out dairy for long periods of time, I felt way better. When I would cut out gluten, I felt way more energetic and less sluggish. Man, I think it's something that a lot of people should look into, yourself included, as you're drinking that beer.
Whoa. Green tea with Splenda, by the way, so there's no carbs. Now, I will talk about the 2 pizzas I had here.
Yeah.
But you are right. Anytime I get in my...
You had a couple of pies, huh? Were the deep dish, thin crust?
They were New York style. It was New York style. Pepperoni sausage. I don't fucks with the sausage and pepperoni. I'm just the pepperoni. But a little bit lack of cheese, which would have done you numbers. But for me, it treats me the same way. I just can't power through how good it tastes. I just continue to do it. Every time I'm on keto and I'm thin, I have the most energy. My body feels the best. And then all of a sudden, I smell that pizza. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to feel like shit for the next week. And I just go for it. So good for you. Good for you, man.
Yeah, man. I respect you as well. You know, you gotta everything in moderation.
See, that's been my problem. You know what I mean? That has been my problem over the years. AJ, what do you got?
Oh, so Aaron, congrats. It sounds like you're one step ahead of the testers there. So congrats on your 16th, 17th year doing that. But also, Alex Van Pelt is calling plays now for the Cleveland Browns this week. He was on the staff in Green Bay, your quarterback coach. I know you had a good relationship. How do you think he's going to do?
I love Al. Al's going to do great. He's such a great football mind. He grew up in the, in the West Coast system, and he was around some great teams as well. And in Buffalo, part of that K-gun offense they were running, where it was no huddle. It was, and they had an incredible run game along with the no huddle. A lot of the run and shoots at the time were really, really heavy pass. If you think about Atlanta and Houston, the Oilers during that time, playing the entire game in 3 and 4 wide receivers just was different. But in Buffalo, they were able to still run the ball really well with Thurman. And he brought a lot of that run game knowledge right away to our offense in Green Bay. And then just his steady hand. He's a very calm guy on game day. He always understood that less is more on game day and just was never one to get, riled up or lose his cool. He's just a really even-keeled guy. A lot of fun to be around. Great coach, great in the locker room. I think, this is what he should be doing, being an offensive coordinator. And hopefully he gets some opportunities moving forward.
You talked to I don't know who you were interviewing with after the game. You had your headset on, then when you tried to take it off, the wire got stuck to your shoulder pad. You played it off super cool, and then you walked off. But I heard some of the things you said in that thing. You did play super cool. You at the end you were told basically, what are you saying to your team or something going in this bye week? And I don't know if you said don't get fucking COVID or I just put that in. Like I entered that myself, don't get COVID. By the way, if you said don't get fucking COVID on that interview post-game on national television, you're my MVP forever. Not that you're not already, but if you said don't get COVID, that is maybe the most crucial part of this playoff run. We were talking about this with the Browns. The Browns head coach is out for 10 days because he tested positive. It's a 10-day sentence if you test positive right now automatically. No, that is going to be a massive key of this entire playoff because you can miss 2 games potentially in a 10-day. I mean, it's a big deal, and Cleveland's dealing with it right now. Are you guys just locked down? That you have to be just locked down, huh?
We're totally locked on. We're not going downtown. We're just trying to hang out and stay out of the COVID list. No, look, I mean, nothing's really changed. I'm interested in how it happened in Cleveland because really nothing's changed from our daily routine. I mean, you're still, obviously going to work and practice and grocery store and whatever it might be, gas station, doing the normal things you do every single week. I just wonder how something like that happens. It's too bad. And I said it kind of tongue-in-cheek after the game. It wasn't like some, weird tyrannical comment.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be like a speech. Listen up, boys. Okay? We got a bye week. Let's handle this, okay? Let's not get COVID. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. That's what I thought. It was like, you know what I mean? Like an actual speech I was hoping.
No, it wasn't. But thanks. Thanks for the idea there. I might spring that on us tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
Zoom call.
Real heartfelt, yeah. Like maybe like a patent speech, but say COVID like 32 times.
Well, there's 3 strands of it, so make sure you hit all of them.
Yeah.
There's 3 strands found by the genome testing that the NFL does in the Cleveland Browns organization. COVID-19, 19A, 19B, all hanging out in Cleveland right now.
All right.
I'm going to go to my notes section, all right? I'm going to go to my notes section. Every week.
You watched the game? I know Ty did, but you actually watched the game Sunday?
Man, I loved it. Ty's got a great question for you. Ty, let's go to it. Go ahead. What do you want to know from the man, the legend, Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I was just, Aaron, I'm curious. Given the guys from Iowa, the state of Iowa, who are undrafted and how well they've played, what is it about those guys? And do you think there's any way a fat, out of shape guy like me could maybe sneak onto the practice squad next year, line up in the slot, maybe catch a tutter from you at some point.
Well, also, maybe this year, get him a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Get him on the practice squad.
Wait, owners don't get a ring?
It's going to be tough with the Packers.
I think, we can figure something out for sure. It's those guys like Brian Balaga, Iowa. Those guys like, you see the mentality that they have, whether you're playing at Iowa State or Indiana State or any small school in the Midwest, there's a different type of mentality, you know what I mean? And we seem to attract some of those guys. I'm not calling, Iowa State or Iowa a small school, but there's some small schools that we've acquired some players from in the Midwest, guys who've had nice careers for us. I am really happy for Daphne.
Hey!
Nobody knew who he was a few weeks ago.
Also, do you know, earlier in the year, you made fun of the number 49, which everybody in the NFL knows, like if somebody has the number 49, or I forget what number you said, but you said an obscure number. And here we are, last game of the season, you're throwing a touchdown to that number, Daphne. And then, by the way, your celebration with him seemed so genuine. I was like, oh boy, like you were so genuinely happy for him. That was a cool moment with old Daphne.
It was really cool. I looked right on the play, adjusted the play at the line. I looked right, and he, I thought he was going to wrap around Trevathan on the play, and he kind of did this weird stutter step and went inside, and then on top of 55 on the backside. It actually worked out perfect, but I was pretty happy for him. He's made so many damn plays in practice. I mean, he really has been incredible. And you're just watching him going, no, should we actually need to get this guy involved in what we're doing. And he's going to be getting a few more plays. Last week he made his first catch, and I'm really happy for him.
Hey, it's not a bad time to add another weapon, by the way. You've just been slicing and dicing. A couple quick questions from the notes section, okay? These are things that pop up while watching the game that I think to myself, I'd like to know the answer to that question.
I can't wait.
The long johns that you wear every single week kind of had a little bit of a bacon neck this week, a little bit looser, it seemed like, than in weeks past. Is that the same one that you wear every cold game? And what is it? Because we know growing up in Pittsburgh, long johns come on, that means it's cold as shit outside if the long johns are coming out. You with that long johns turtleneck normally means the other team is in some deep shit.
That's what I like to wear when it's below 30. I've worn it, really since the most miserable day of my life, temperature-wise, which was 2007 at Chicago. It's just that extra little warmth on your neck, and it's a comfort thing for sure. It's definitely not for looks. I've been ridiculed on this show and off this show about any type of clothing swag that I may or may not have.
Oh, definitely on this show.
When it comes to rocking the turtleneck, that's all about comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's built for comfort, not for swag appearance.
Yeah, and by the way, swag is your inner essence and just owning it, by the way. Some really smart man said. They do zoom in very close on your face, so you see that thing gets a lot of airplay. Maybe sell that. Maybe Powerlift gets in on the Powerlift gets in on the turtleneck, because you guys are hosting, obviously, the playoffs all the way through the NFC, through the Super Bowl. Congrats on that. On the MVS deep post tutter, okay? You remember the play? Yeah.
I do.
You waited, okay, and this was in a series of events. You waited until 0 on the play clock, okay? Absolute 0. They seem to be showing a late blitz. When did you decide their blitz was coming? And when did you make the decision that MVS was the huck you were definitely going to? Because it seemed like you used literally the entire play clock, and it wasn't until the last second you're like, got it, bang, touchdown happened immediately after. How does that all happen in your brain? And why do you get so close to delay of games so often? I think a lot of people would want to know.
Well, the play, I think the reason for the timing on the play was Robert Quinn was having a conversation with Trevathan during that play, and they couldn't decide what side he was supposed to be on, so I could tell that there was something that was a little messed up on defense.
Now, the play actually called for Aaron Jones to motion back into the backfield, Devontae to widen back out, and then we had a concept, 3-man concept on the right, and kind of a 2-man concept with Devontae kind of backside by himself to the backside. But I could tell, I really wanted them to maybe declare what they were doing because I knew there was some sort of pressure coming, and I was just trying to get the protection right. Now, after I could tell that this was kind of coming down to it, I decided to leave Jonesy out there. So I kind of gave him a left-hand stay and just try to kind of quick snap it on him because it looked like that nobody that there was confusion on who had 3 vertical to the other side. And 3 vertical for us was Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's one of the faster players in the league. And at the snap, I could tell that he was going to have a backer kind of drifting out to him. I knew that there was some sort of pressure coming from the backside because why would they be kind of running out to 2 and 3 on the front side if there wasn't anything on the backside? So I just tried to beat the defender blitzing with a throw, and MBS did a really nice job of just running straight and then catching the ball above his eyes there, and that was a good play for us.
Oh man, football has to be so much fun for you, right? It just has to be so much fun. Oh, those two are talking to each other. Oh, what's going? Oh, you guys. Oh, one of them are fucking up right now. Okay, let's go ahead and try to take advantage of that. That has to be just an absolute blast. Is that why you get all the way down to 0 every time? Because there was a time Aaron Jones was in the backfield alongside you. Play clock got to 2. You motioned him out of the backfield at 2 seconds left on the play clock. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way they get this playoff right here. Jones went into a tight end, almost like a H-back split or something like that. Lined up, you snapped it. As the clock hit 0, or maybe a half a beat after it hit 0, before a timeout was called, or before the ref looks at the ball and then looks up at the clock, because you actually have an extra half a second, right? It was at what point do you know, like, you can send him in motion? Was it 2 seconds? Did you know there was 2 seconds left on the play? It looks like it's organized. Are you completely in control with those? You know exactly how much is on the clock every single time and everything like that? What is the process of that whole thing?
Well, look, this is the process, I believe, and most times I know what's going on. The process is we have a lot of long play calls, so we don't always break the huddle above 20. By the time we get to the line of scrimmage and we go through a set of cadences, if it's a long count, so you might take a little bit of time. On that one, I was trying to adjust the routes on the front side to something I felt like was a little better option, especially for Tay, who was number 2 in the slot on that play. And then what usually happens is over on the sideline while I'm trying to go through these gymnastics and get us in the right formation, final formation, Tim Boyle is trying to calm any nerves on the sideline for Peter LaFleur and not let him call any timeouts. And most of the time he succeeds with that, and most of the time I'm aware of the play clock and we're able to get something going. That play ended up being, I believe, a 7-yard completion to Devontae on the right side, moved the sticks, and ended up scoring on that drive to go up 21-10. But same thing with the play to Marquez. I think talking to Matt afterwards, we were laughing about how, it's the fine line between him thinking he needs to call timeout and me thinking I can get the play off before 0. And that's where the trust comes in, and I appreciate it. But I laugh because I think he's definitely a lot more nervous than I am.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thankful that Timmy's over there going, no, let him go.
Well, because I'm at home thinking probably what LaFleur is thinking. And at this point, and by the way, I don't think I've ever watched you play as much as I have this season. You are awesome to watch, dude. And I know, obviously we're best friends and shit like that, but watching you for an entire season, the swag and the confidence, but before the play, because a lot of teams, right, you talk to any defensive linemen, they'll see the play clock, and once it gets below 5, they're like, okay, they're not making any more checks. As soon as the next sound, we can go. You are still calling a bullshit cadence at 3 seconds, making a check. The amount of things that happen in those final 3 seconds before the play clock gets to 0 with you, it has to be about tenfold every other quarterback in the NFL. And you use it as a weapon. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, was there a question in there? Or are you just lobbing me up a little bit, best friend?
You're just lobbing you up a little bit because if you're a fan of the Packers, you got to be like, oh my God. And then you get past it. You're like, now Aaron's going to figure it out. He'll figure it out.
You really feel like yourself and a bunch of the Packer Nation out there are more like LaFleur, like,
Oh my God! Is he gonna get it off? Time out.
I've only been around 1 year. Okay, this is my first year. All right, and I am at the point where I'm like, come on. And then obviously it all works out, and I'm like, why did you even guess? Like,
Ty can't be that nervous.
Ty's taking a shit right now. I think Ty's got something going on.
You got the timer on him?
Yeah, he left 3 minutes ago. So,
Okay.
and Ty is an aggressive. Last question here before AJ's got something. I apologize. Aaron Jones got a G necklace. Do you have one of those as well? And do you know who gifted him that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. I saw you at something. I didn't know what it said. But no, I don't have one of those. Not a big jewelry guy.
Oh, had me fooled. I thought you were. But last thing, I know Dana Orshlovsky actually, he diagrammed this play beautifully on the internet, the MVS touchdown, and he mentioned something. He said, look at Aaron. He's gathering information, and you're gathering information pre-snap. I'm just wondering, how was that more from your, like, the first year you started till now? Like, how much more information can you gather?
Oh, I mean, it's just different age playing on the road and being able to not have any crowd noise issues. It's just like at home when you're able to hear things and able to communicate everything you want to communicate to the guys. It just changes the whole dynamic of a game now, and I think that's really helped all veteran quarterbacks this year, and really all quarterbacks in general, being able to hear 8 games where you wouldn't be able to hear really anything, especially some of the tough environments. Talking about the Seattles, the New Orleans, Minnesota's, Chicago as well, where it's just so tough to hear. Now you're able to just do things that you wouldn't be able to do in a normal year with fans.
Did you hear what Trevathan and Quinn were saying to each other? Like, are you actually hearing them talk over there?
Oh, yeah. There's full-on conversations going on.
And you have to act like you can't hear what they're saying? Like, you have to, like, look
away?
No,
you know. I mean, you don't have to act at all. I mean, I think there's part... Yeah, it's the same thing. If I'm giving, calls to people, they can hear everything that I'm saying. So it's really been a year where you've had to really self-scout on exactly what you're saying to the line of scrimmage and how that's, going to get perceived and studied. Because why would you not study the TV copy? It makes no sense not to. Scary Ninja, I saw you didn't use it. Yeah, we retired that one for a week or two. You know what I mean? Oh, are you using it next weekend? We'll bring it, but we'll use it this weekend for sure. Whenever you're drunk walking around the house over there in Tahiti, dude? Is that what you're going to just be saying Scary Ninja everywhere, dude? Scary Ninja. Scary Ninjas. Hey, real quick. I think I'm gonna watch, on that note, if I really am thinking about ninjas and scary things, I'll probably watch either a Chuck Norris movie or Three Ninjas, which is a great early 90s movie. I'm always looked at myself as a cult. That's Ty's favorite, I guess.
Childhood movie.
Yeah, it's his favorite childhood movie.
Ty's back now.
No, he's not. That's what the reaction was whenever you said that. Everybody goes,
Maury Tanaka.
We saw the empty chair.
Rest in peace right now to everything going on through Ty's life. Miss you, bub.
Let up the eyes, boys.
Beverly Hills Ninja, also great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Farley.
You like Chris Farley?
I love Chris Farley, yeah.
Big Ben Stiller guy, right? You're a big Ben Stiller guy.
Yeah, I am.
You going to watch Ben Stiller movie this? What are you going to do this weekend? Why won't you just tell us what you're going to do this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many possibilities, bro. I mean, I might tune in, look at the schedule and see what's going on, but a nice, relaxing, quiet weekend, man, after a long season, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, you're right.
I know you're more of that Gen Z, extra overstimulation all the time. But, Age and I, we're kind of that late millennials where, we still enjoy our quiet time and our routines and not having to be on social media, commenting every single punt that goes down.
All right. Listen. A lot of comments and shots were taken there, and I'm just going to move past them. I would like to let you know that my generation is a good generation still, okay? The generation you need to be yelling at is Foxy's, okay? Foxy's over here sending me texts last night about the Bachelor season premiere going on. Mm-hmm. Soft as a bag of milk, that kid. But anyways,
You feel better now? You feel
Well, I was going to stick up for myself, but I just, at this point, there's no reason to. Honestly, at this point. Have you got an Oculus? I'm going to buy you an Oculus. It's this virtual reality thing. I'm boxing against really good artificially intelligent made boxers, and I'm knocking them out, Aaron. I think you would ping pong on this Oculus. I'm playing against people from Japan, Germany, in their houses. I'm playing ping pong. I think you would love the virtual reality, Aaron.
Yeah. What's wrong with this reality, though?
Great question.
Can't you just set that jaw, bro, and just keep punching, man? Get in the ring. Be like the Pittsburgh Kid and just, get some of the boys, to get. That's what you should do. You should get a ring in there, get some headgear for safety, and that's a good workout. Boxing is a good workout, man.
Yeah, I'm knocking out fake dudes.
Just set that jaw and keep punching, man.
I don't want to get punched in the actual face, but I am knocking out dudes. Let's get back. Ty just came back, by the way. That was a 9-minute trip. Attaboy, Ty. That was a 3-round battle if I had guessed that.
That was round one. My guts are getting beat up right now. It's going to be a long day.
Is it because of the pizza?
Yes.
It was so good. This is that dairy thing you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Three Ninjas, his favorite.
I know, I heard. I almost fucking punched a hole in the stall. I wish I was in here for it.
A lot of microaggression in that office. You got to get it. You got to get that ring, bro.
I do have a ring.
Or a heavy bag. Get that heavy bag.
We do have a heavy bag. We have a ring. We have a heavy bag. We have a basketball court. We have a quarterback circus. We have a rack over here. We got it all. The issue is we use it and then, all right, kind of done with it, and then it's just around forever. Yeah. That's just kind of what happens in this office.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
Do you have any cool things?
I do. I just actually recently got this rack from Powerlift. Also, some dumbbells from Iron Grip.
Do you own Powerlift? This would not be surprised. Yeah, you do. You have like a percentage of Power Grip for sure, or Powerlift.
No, I am thankful though that they sent out that thing, because the workouts changed now. All the science has told everybody that the safest thing on Mondays, the day after a game, is for players to come in, be able to work out, but you have to work out in your own clothes and you have no access to the locker room.
Well, that's science.
It's science, yeah. It's a lot of people sitting around, with all those tests. I'm sure they've got a paper published in the scientific journal about how working out in your own clothes is safer than working out in team issue clothes.
The protocols are awesome, huh? That's what it sounds like.
Ever changing.
You allowed to eat lunch with anybody yet?
No.
What do you do?
God forbid. God forbid.
What do you do? One per table?
Yeah, one per table.
And then how much time are you in the facility that you're not practicing or lifting in your own clothes?
Is this an opportunity for me to talk about how, the grind and all the hours I spend guarding my locker, as coaches are so famous for guarding their desks?
Well, you are the NFL's MVP, so I think we would like to hear your Mark Wahlberg-like daily routine. Up at 4 a.m., golf, Bible, 9 holes, meditate, another workout, kids wake up, feed them. Now it's 9 a.m. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? The NFL's MVP, Aaron Rodgers, spends his day doing what during the season?
Man, I'm up at like 5 in the power lift rack, getting my pull-ups in, my front squats, my Arnold press. Then I grab the Iron Grip dumbbells.
Oh yeah.
And I do about 20 minutes of buys and tries. And calves. I call it my spring break workout.
Nice. Ooh.
And then that time it's about 6:30. So I have 4 cups of coffee. Then I head in the facility, do my COVID test. And then I get right to just sitting in the room with the film on, making sure that it's on. So if anybody passes by, they would think I'm watching film. I'm sleeping with my eyes open for the next hour until we start at 8 o'clock, and then I'm rip roaring ready to go.
Why are you such an asshole? Why? I mean, that's unbelievable. Congrats on an incredible season, brother. We appreciate you joining us every Tuesday through it. Enjoy your off weekend or whatever the hell you're going to do.
Yeah. Hey, next week we'll be able to talk about being a part of the final 8 and a real opponent.
Hey, isn't that crazy though? 32 teams, already down to the final 8. You guys made it. Who's going to make it to the top of the mountain, Aaron? Who is going to bunker and hunker down away from COVID to make it to the Super Bowl in Tampa?
That's the beauty. You never know. You never know, Pat. But I'm just thankful you guys there are being safe and not touching each other or, doing anything that's going to get anybody in danger. So you guys keep being safe there. Age, I think your wife is just an amazing woman just to be able to put up with you, her 5th child. I mean, it's incredible.
It takes all of us, guys. Takes all of us. Right. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, by the way, Ty is going in for round 2, by the way.
Go get him, Ty.
Go get him. Good luck in there, bud.
Jeez.
See you, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! Thank you, Aaron. Woo! What a day, dude.
Man.
He's winning the MVP. He really is. We have no idea who he's playing next week. What is he going to do this weekend?
When do they announce the MVP?
I don't know. Is that after? Is that near the honors? Because that's when they present it, right?
Yeah,
Is the honors night?
Honors, yeah.
Have you ever been to that honors show?
No, so that's the night before the Super Bowl, correct?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But all the votes have already been cast, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Does playoffs count into the MVP voting?
I don't think so.
February 6th, it'll be announced.
So that's the night before that's the NFL honors. And doesn't the honors, don't they normally release all the results like 4 hours before their own show? That's really smart.
Just like the NBA draft.
Really, really smart.
Yep.
That's good stuff. That's what you got to do. You know what I mean, AJ? You ever been to the NFL honors show?
I've never been.
I wonder if Aaron would take Ty as his +1.
Ooh. Sweet.
He hopefully does not want to attend.
Oh, yeah, because he's in the Super Bowl. Maybe let's Ty accept on his honor. On his behalf.
Well, I'm sure it's a virtual event anyway. It'll be amazing. Is Russ gonna host if he's not in the Super
that'd be
Bowl?
awesome.
All right. Let's take some phone calls.
Only hope.
Real question.
Russ probably will host it if I had to guess.
He did the ESPYs, so why wouldn't he naturally do the honors?
He did a great job with that ESPYs.
He did.
Yeah, sick.
All the hosts.
Hey, we got up to 56,000, by the way.
How about it?
56,000 concurrent viewers at one point. That is so. That's stupid, dude. Woo! That's a stadium.
It's an arena, absolutely.
Well,
a stadium.
No, that's a stadium. Yeah, I was thinking 20,000 for a second.
There you go.
Yeah, we were. By the way, when we got to 20,000, we were fucking pumped too. It was like, a few months back. Obviously, we got to 20,000. We're like, there's 20,000 people watching.
Staples Center.
Then we got to 30,000 one time, and I almost shit my pants. 56,000 people spending an afternoon with us. We can't thank you enough. Now, obviously, you were here to listen to the NFL MVP speak. Hopefully, we got a good conversation for you. Hopefully, you enjoyed your time here. But thank you so much for listening and watching wherever you're at. This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Very, very, very thankful for, AJ.
It's awesome. And they have to, and the people actually have to go, you have to seek it out too. That's, I think, another thing. Like, it's not, okay, I'm going to turn it, what's on the default on the TV at the airport. No, they have to go find this and turn it on.
Yeah, man. You people on Sirius and YouTube are so goddamn cool. We have to get out on Sirius. Chris Mad Dog Russo is next with Mad Dog Unleashed. He is absolutely legendary.
Oh, yeah.
He went on a rant about Chris Collinsworth not having any inside information in New York yesterday that made its rounds on the internet. Trailblazer in sports talk. He will be next here on Sirius XM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Our show will be back tomorrow. Big guest tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Big guest. We have no idea what we'll be talking about. Hopefully no more COVID. T's and P's to everybody that got it. Hope you survived. The Browns probably going to have more positive cases. We'll talk about that and more tomorrow. Mad Dog Unleashed is next. Fucking nailed it.
Wow. I mean, the Browns should be pumped, right?
What's that?
Aaron said Alex Van Pelt is that guy.
Yeah.
Calling plays.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, because Stefanski being out is a big deal. I talked about how Andrew Luck's rookie year, Bruce Arians, was calling plays for us all year. And he had an incredible year. And obviously that was the year Chuck had leukemia and came back and everything like that. And Andrew was breaking records. And the morning of our playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens, Bruce went to the hospital. And we weren't told until I forget if it was breakfast or right before the game, hey, BA's not going to be here. Had a new play caller. It affected us. We only scored 9 points. Now, that Ravens defense was probably incredible or whatever, as Ravens defenses normally are. But our offense was averaging 23 points a game or 22 points a game. Only scored 9. Stefanski being out here, I think, is a big deal. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty big deal. But Alex Van Pelt, guy grew up in the West Coast system. He should be a good play caller.
AVP as they call him. He and A-Rod were tight, man. Like, he was a great coach. He was fun. Like, he was a real human you could have conversations with, but he was also super smart when it came to football too. So I think the Browns are in good hands.
Me too, man. It depends on who's going. There's going to be more positives though.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
I hope not, obviously, because I want everybody to be safe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there's only going to be more positives that are going to come out, I think. That's like kind of how it's always been. You get one positive, and then the next day there's more positives. And then they try to stop the positives, and that's how games don't get moved or whatever. It's just like, is Stefanski? No. Yeah, Stefanski. He's probably around Kornacki.
Yeah.
Stefanski is probably around a lot of people, the head coach. I assume his contact tracing is potentially going to be an interesting one.
And just losing that Pro Bowl guard is huge for that run game. I mean, with the Ravens, they lost Yonda, and that affected them for a little bit until they got their rhythm, you know?
All right, AJ. What do you got the rest of the evening? Anything?
I'm supposed to do a serious show 4 to 6 on the Big Ten channel. Coming.
Ooh. What are you going to talk about? Ohio State Buckeyes. Them boys going to play against Alabama. Let's go.
Guess so. That seems to be what would be the first thing we'll talk about.
The tide is turning in this office. There's some people that want to bet Ohio State against Alabama heavily. There's some people that think, like, after that performance against Clemson, they played their best football to date. Gumpy back there, who, I mean, noted not great football better, but incredible soccer and basketball. Like, the best better I've ever seen in soccer and basketball. Unbelievable. But football record, he's good, but he's not like the best, football better. Nobody is, but I'm just saying, he said he's hammering fucking Ohio State. Isn't that what you said, Gumpy?
Money line already hit it.
Wow. Why?
Hit it against Clemson, too. They get no respect. They're ready.
Hey, he thinks that Ohio State gets no respect by anybody. Do you guys in Ohio believe that?
Well, I think this year they felt disrespected just from Dabo's comments and him putting them at 11 in the coaches poll, and all of that went into it. And yeah, I think it was good. Ohio State was in a good situation, kind of being underdogs going into that game, and now they're underdogs again, which I think they seem to thrive in that role with Ryan Day at the helm.
And you're going to talk for 2 hours about that?
I don't know. We will see. I guess people have to tune in.
You taking calls over there? What's the phone number?
I'm sure we'll take calls, yeah.
What's the phone number?
I don't know.
Let us know what the fucking phone number is.
I haven't been on the Big Ten channel since pre-COVID.
You got a co-host or?
Big Ten Series channel.
Yeah, who you hosting with?
Dude.
Jason Horowitz I'm hosting with.
Oh, let's go.
Horowitz. Jason Horowitz.
Schleg's calling in?
Who?
Schlegs
is calling in today at 4:30.
Let's go.
Is General Bob Carpenter calling in?
I don't know if Bob is or not. Whoever is producing the show has not sent me anything.
Okay, so we got Schlegs calling in. We're gonna do a little lift talk. He's football talk.
4:30.
Connor's calling in. What time?
I'm calling in. I'm going to call in at 4:45.
Yeah, 4:45. Yep, that's what I thought too. Diggs, you calling in?
Yeah, I'm definitely calling in.
5:15ish.
I was thinking maybe 5:45 close out the show.
Oh, okay. You want to be the main event,
the closer.
Okay, Diggs is calling in 5:45. You guys take calls on the show or no?
Yeah, I'm sure we might.
That sounded like a maybe.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a number, but yeah, I don't know if trust me. You guys will not be around. You will forget this 4 seconds.
No.
This is much different.
By the way, one of our new favorite things is listening to random shows and call in and ask questions.
I mean, that sounds like it would be actually fun.
It is. It is a good time. We have a blast. Hey, this is insert name from insert city you just make up, and then just go ahead and throw the host right into a clusterfuck of a conversation.
Yep.
It's awesome.
I had I host shows with my brother-in-law, Brady Quinn, sometimes. My brother, Ryan, would call in and do the same thing, usually to Brady.
You and Brady Quinn are related?
Yep.
Damn, that's sick.
Really?
He works out for sure.
What?
I didn't know you guys were just. Are you brother-in-law with Brady Quinn, dude?
Yeah. I married his sister, so that makes him my brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah, the jersey.
Oh, yeah.
That Ohio State.
When you got her that jersey you had made for her?
I remember that. Yeah. You're a gentleman, dude.
What did Nick say? I could barely hear Nick in the back.
Nick said that you got her that jersey.
I sewed it myself, yeah.
Yeah, what a gentleman.
Man, you can sew?
All right, let's answer a couple calls here before we get out of here. Let's go to Hench in New York. What's going on, Hench?
Hey, what's going on, Pat? Just want to say a happy Rodgers Tuesday to the boys.
Oh, thank you, Aaron Rodgers
and
Tuesday.
also, a few weeks ago, you talked about the mullet. I think it's time to grow the mullet on full blast this year.
Well, it is. I mean, the hair's long on top, but you're talking like 7-8 months if we want to get this thing to go. You know what I mean?
I'm going through it right now, man. I'm in the ugly stage, so it's just an ugly mullet stage. I figure by June I'll be full flow.
Are you on camera every day?
No, I'm not. I work in sales. I'm in my office right now.
Well, I was just thinking there was a chance that you were potentially on camera every day, because for me, I have to see me. I'm forced to see me every single day, all day basically, and it's going to be hard.
I put a bed sheet over my mirrors in the house for a little bit, so
Smart.
that's a strong advice.
Smart. I should probably.
Yeah,
do
man.
some.
But what's up with wrestling? You gonna get back into it? What are we doing here? Well, these guys are sleeping on you. You were crushing the stage.
Hench, I appreciate that. I don't know, to be honest. 2021, AJ, a lot of self-conversation about what we're going to leave in 2020, what we'll take into 2021, what's worthy of investing your time into, what should you maybe move on from. I've had a lot of those conversations. And by the way, wrestling has been at the forefront of a lot of those conversations business-wise on whether or not it's something that, makes its way into 2021. I'm not 100% sure, AJ.
Well, you never know. Isn't that kind of your thing with wrestling? Like, you come and go. Like, hey, you're there for a big 4-week sprint, and then you take some time off, and then you're back.
That's kind of how it's been, I guess, here for the last few months or whatever. But yeah. I don't know how it's going to go. You know what I mean? Those were good times whenever we were doing it. We were traveling every fucking week down there, getting tested multiple times a week to get in there. I mean,
4-week sprint is very fun.
It is. It was a good time to be in there. And then you kind of get on the other side of it. You look back, you're like, how the fuck did we do that? Because those Wednesdays were hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious.
And we're not used to being on a normal schedule. So when you put that Wednesday in there, it is really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Fight week in Orlando was electric.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were all down there, that was so cool.
It provided a lot of incredible moments. But to be 100% transparent, I have no idea what's going to happen or if anything's going to happen. I assume a conversation will happen at some point, but I have no idea. I enjoyed the hell out of it, though. I did.
How does it work? I don't know if you can even talk about it. I know wrestlers are independent contractors, so you don't have like a 6-month contract or like an ESPN deal where you have a certain amount of appearances.
No. So my thing is very interesting, right, with them, because everything that they create business-wise, whether it's merch or, like content and everything like that, that's something that my business is, right? So my contract with them was very interesting, the conversation with them, the way it all went and the way things happen, because normally, because the way WWE, they build their stars up, right? They build these characters. And I don't want to say from nothing, because a lot of people have, their fan bases behind them from indies and things like that. But WWE create these stars. So normally, whenever you create something, you own the IP, right? The property, you get it.
Intellectual.
Yeah, by the way, I almost said intelligent property.
Which,
by the way, hey, yeah, for me,
same thing.
I'm one of those. But you own the IP or whatever, so that's kind of a topic of conversation in their world right now, to be honest. That's like a pretty high topic of conversation. Who owns the IP? Who can benefit from it? How can it work? And everything like that. So for me going in, I knew that was potentially something that you could potentially run into contract-wise as a problem. So my contract with them, I think, is much different than everybody else's. So it's a very different one. I could be done. It's just a conversation, and I think I've had a great relationship and conversations with the people with power over there too. They've been very nice to me. You know what I mean? Kind of been I think to all of us. Foxy, they were incredibly nice to you as well.
They shouldn't be that nice to me. They kind of let me do whatever I want when I'm with you.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Foxy's just roaming around with a camera, just like, nobody's allowed to shoot here. Oh, he's allowed to. Oh, okay.
I just stay out of the way.
Foxy's like, I have no idea why I'm allowed. They were very nice to us. So I have no idea what the future holds, though. Great question there, Hench. Let's go to Adam in North Dakota. Adam, what's going on, pal?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, hanging out, man. How are you in North Dakota?
Oh, we're fantastic. I am the equipment manager for North Dakota State, our quarterback guy. So shout out to the equipment managers at NDSU, best in the business.
Shout out to all equipment managers as well. Thanks for everything that you do to keep the teams operating. You're behind the scenes and never get enough credit. Also to the NDSU equipment managers. What's going on? Hope life is great over there.
Yes, sir. I work with Trey Lance. And I think something that's important about franchise quarterbacks is their attitude and the way they carry themselves. And I'm just telling everybody he is a fantastic person. He treats everybody with respect from top down, even the guys like me that are making sure that his balls are ready for the game day. So,
well, great take there, Adam. Appreciate that on Trey Lance. And by the way, if the North Dakota State quarterback is punking out the North Dakota State equipment managers, that's probably a problem to begin with. Yeah. I would assume if you're a quarterback in North Dakota State, South Dakota State, a lot of these other schools, you're going to be a humble person, I'd assume, because you were at North Dakota State. You didn't get like the, or maybe you're just an asshole from birth, but I would assume that potentially comes from other things. But it's nice to know that that's a good dude. He had a lot of buzz on him, them not playing this year, then having a showcase game, and he kind of did, I think he did okay. He did good, but he didn't do, I think his name's kind of disappeared. Obviously, it'll pop back into conversation when the combine talk happens and everything like the workouts and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when an equipment manager actually volunteers to tell you, hey, our star player is a good dude. Like,
True.
You know, you can trust that guy. He's not selling you something.
Hey, and by the way, that guy, yeah, I kind of downplayed that whole thing. Like, yeah, he should be. He's in North Dakota State. But also, he's that good of a dude that his equipment manager felt obligated to call to say that he's a good dude. That is pretty cool. That's a big deal. Yeah, that is. You're right. That's on me, dude. I kind of buried you, Adam. By the way, Ty, welcome back.
Yeah,
Ty, we're not on Sirius anymore. We left Sirius early. I don't know if you know that. How you doing, man?
Big victory after right there. I was just in Butt Piss City for a couple minutes, but I feel much better than I did when I went in there.
No longer the mayor.
No longer the mayor. I'm sure I will be, in like an hour or two, but right now.
Elected back?
Yeah,
Still
I think
a
so.
resident, yeah.
Second term,
yeah.
Congrats. 4 more years.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You just can't help yourself.
What's that?
You.
I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say to AJ at 4:45 when I call into the Big Ten Sirius XM channel.
Have you heard this? Are you calling in?
I did see that. I'll call in. Yeah, sure.
4:15.
Why not?
Or?
4:15. Yeah.
JJ, do you have the number for that show?
I don't. I can send it to you once I get it when we're done here.
Yeah,
1-888
seems like
Big
you
Ten
won't do
6.
that, by the way. Maybe it is 1-888 Big Ten 6.
Yeah, there it is. You got it.
But is it 10 spelled out or just the?
Oh yeah.
I think just the numbers, just because.
That's
1-0. 1-0.
Yeah.
So it's probably 1-888 BIG.
1-0.
Nah, that's not enough.
1006.
Just like ours is Mad Dog
So
sick.
it's-
It's got to be.
So
it's 1-0.
Big
Yeah.
10 106.
Yeah, there it is.
This show stinks. Since we got to 50,000 today, we're going to give away $5,000.
Oh!
Yesterday we gave away $4,500. The day before that, Foxy gave away $7,500.
Yeah, boy,
We appreciate you so much for watching. Today's will be Nick Moraldo's job to give away
Let's go, Nick.
the $5,000 to
Baby Nick.
YouTube comment. Nick, don't look so thrilled, Nick.
go, Nick.
Nick will
Come on,
have to
Nick.
figure out how to give away the money to the YouTube comment section. We'll give away $5,000, $1,500 winners. I believe, Connor, you're giving away the $4,500 winners.
Oh, yeah. I already got about 7 or 8 cash tags right now, still collecting them.
Okay, that boy. We appreciate you guys. So let's give away some money. Let's continue to build this thing. We understand that you have a lot of other things that can penetrate your eyeballs. The fact that you allow us to do so, we are eternally grateful. If we're in the background or in the forefront, we don't give a damn. We just appreciate you rocking with us. This show stinks, but the fact that you guys support us, we're able to do a lot of really cool things, like talk to Aaron today, Fred Warner, and whoever we talk to manana, which is a massive guest.
Huge show tomorrow.
And AJ Hawk. AJ, anything for the people?
No, I would just encourage people if you feel like you should get part of that $5,000 to reach out directly to Nick and try to let him know that you want it.
Yeah,
Smart.
tweet at Nick Moraldo.
That's a good way not to get it. You're just immediately eliminated from the competition if
What's
you
this
reach out
guy's
to me
deal?
directly.
What is this
So
guy?
just putting that out there. I see what AJ's
All right,
trying to do. He thinks he's slick.
Nick, between Nick and Billy, like, who's going to die first? Who's going to kill who?
Well, no.
AJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
AJ, be careful.
Well,
Billy.
Billy. I think Bill kills Nick, by the way.
for
I
sure.
do believe,
Yeah.
if we were to guess.
Always it's quick.
In that particular. Anyways, Diggs, what do you have?
Brian Flores says all of his assistants will be back next year, including Chan Gailey.
Nice. Attaboy, Chan.
Bring him back.
A darn Schefter was trying to run 70-year-old Chan Gailey out of town. Brian Flores said, nah. ESPN fixed the website. Adam Schefter, let people know that you didn't report this. It was a darn Schefter reporting this. Chan Gailey now back for his second season as offensive coordinator to Tua Tagovailoa. Maybe if Tua Tagovailoa is the future of the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins GM Chris Greer on Tua. Greer, sorry. I'm very happy with Tua. He's our starting quarterback. I thought Tua did a great job of working himself through the whole process. We're not talking about draft strategy today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's not
channel, dial up, second down draw, third down bubble screen. We'll be laughing all the way to fucking 8-8.
Oh, he runs Randy Fichtner's offense.
All right. So congrats, Jen Gailey, on another year. Sorry that some Dolphins fans do hate it, but he'll get better, just like Tua will get better.
That's right.
Or you guys will just move on to another quarterback and you put back into the cycle of first-year quarterback, and what are you going to do? Who's going to close the games here? And then you're just in that inevitability of question marks on whether or not our franchise is a good franchise or not.
Gut-punching hope.
Yeah. Gut-punching hope is 100% right.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as they keep Chan, we got hope.
Just so dry, so miserable.
So a darn Schefter is Gumpy's burner.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, he was the one who was really fucking drumming the Chan
and
Gailey out of town.
As soon as Diggs even mentioned it, Gumpy was dancing on his dancing on Chan Gailey. So it was. He is a darn Schefter.
It was moments after Gumpy went on that rant about how he wants Chan Gailey too. Mm-hmm. That's when the darn came out.
True.
I tried my best, Dolphins fans. I tried my best.
All right. This show stinks, and it's over. We appreciate you all so much. Remember, Nick Moraldo is giving away $5,000 to YouTube commenters today. Figure out how Nick can get you the money if you're one of them. How are you guys doing this?
So honestly, it just came to my mind since Nick said that they're eliminated if they tweet at him. If you just tag me in that same tweet you're tweeting at Nick, you will actually enter into my 4,400 giveaway. So just tag me right there after Nick Moraldo. And make sure, you're not just tweeting at Nick, hey, let me get some money at Nick Moraldo. Tweet something you really love about Nick Moraldo. And then add me on the end, and I'll throw you into that 4,400 pool.
Yeah, just your thoughts on Nick.
Yeah, just like, hey, he's got really cool skin.
Hey, this guy,
like that.
Really nice, really upbeat.
Yeah, I love he's got cool shoes.
I like how happy this guy is.
He's got nice jeans.
Hey, thanks for looking at the world so positively at Nick Moraldo.
All right, if you're going to play that game, it's real simple. All you need to do is tweet, not even at me, just tweet out hashtag Boston Stooge and tell me something about Boston Connor. Anything you want, really, with your Cash App tag, and I'll pick a couple people to give some money to.
There you have 50 people, right? That's 50. That's a lot of people that could win there.
People helping people.
Hashtag Boston Stooge.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll all hear about how ungrateful they are that didn't win, so who cares?
Yeah. Ingrates will be ingrates, though.
I would like to let the world know we're happy to be giving away this money, okay? Even though the two toxic twins that are trying to kind of downplay this entire thing. Connor and Nick at this point.
I'm not. I am not. I'm trying to promote the positives about Nick Moraldo. How is that toxic?
Well, he's in doo-doo city over here.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
He doesn't even care that we're giving away money. He just,
I don't. I'm already thinking about fucking being right back on the toilet in about 25 minutes.
He is passing time right now before the next shit. Will he make it 5, 10, maybe 15, 20 minutes? 25, 30, 35 minutes. What will his butthole do? When will his colon say, sit your ass down, we're in for round 3, and this is going to be your toughest fight yet?
Probably. I mean, after what I just, by the way, I mean, I would stay out of the bathroom for a little bit, at least the handicap stall on that side, but I thought I was going to be good. My guts are fucking bubbling already again. So
well, you've moved up a class in the Oculus boxing.
That's right.
They have a little bit firmer chin. They can last a little bit more. They can go a little longer. You are tougher than whatever's trying to battle inside of you right now.
Thank you.
Break out the wet wipes.
That's the show. See it.